Alex, I kind of feel like we need to get our own countdown for Sassy Saturday. I feel like we need we need to get a bigger preamble countdown where here's what we can do. We can make now. I feel like we have enough library of Sassy Saturday now where we can make a whole like clip reel of like our greatest 3 moments and play it for the countdown leading up to the main event. Does that sound like a good idea?
I think so. Yes.
I think it's necessary since now I feel like we have officially entered season 2 of Sassy Saturday.
We have season 2. It's summer in the Northern Hemisphere.
Yep. We need to up our game.
All the astrologers always clarify. They're like, in the Northern Hemisphere. So now I feel the same way.
Well, be careful. You're going to piss off all the Christians with all this astrology mumbo jumbo.
Oh my goodness. We don't want to do that. Well, piss off Hunter too, because he's super anti as well. We got you on both sides today.
Hunter doesn't like astrology? I didn't know that.
Atheist.
Oh, well.
That's anti. You know it.
Oh, Hunter Avallone. I used to feel bad for Hunter Avallone because I kind of thought like, here's this young kid that started this YouTube channel when he was like really young and like he had certain views and then he changed his mind and that really pissed a lot of people off. And it's like, I always thought that if I had started my YouTube channel at the age that Hunter Avallone would, holy hell, the things that would have come out of my mouth that I would have looked back now and been like, oh, what the hell were you thinking? And so I always cut him a little bit of slack. I was like, this is a young kid. Like his wife, I think, is actually legitimately lovely. I actually always liked his wife. But he is such a douchebag, isn't he?
Hunter?
Yes.
Oh, he always was, honey. Even when he was on the right, I thought he was kind of nasty. But I guess he found his home on the left. It's very weird because you never really, I guess it does exist. But it's not as common these days to go from the right to the left at this point. So
hang on.
It's very interesting.
No, it's not uncommon, but I don't necessarily think it was necessarily like a grift. I think he may have actually evolved. But you can't fix a douchebag. Like you can be a douche on the left and you can be a douche on the right. And I do think we need to leave room for people to grow and change their minds. Otherwise, what is the point of any of this? But it's just like he pulls these stupid YouTube games where he says one thing in private and then another completely different thing in public. And it's like I don't mind people changing their minds. What I do mind is inauthenticity and just rage baiting, which is exactly what Hunter Avallone does.
It's what he always did on either side. Yeah. I think because to me, I feel like I still feel like it was a grift. And I know that that's mean and whatever, but I'm the conservative voice on this chat. So I'm going to be the one to actually say it. I think he did it for the money. And he's like, oh, I didn't, blah, blah, blah. But, he chose a very specific time to do that. And it was right before the cancel culture stuff. It makes sense to me. And YouTube changed their algorithms. Everything goes together. Everything washes the hand that washes the hand.
It's entirely possible. I can't dismiss the idea. I guess I'm just a little extra sensitive because I get accused of being a grifter like all the time for becoming a libertarian. And I do, but it's also at the same time, it's like, how many people really make money in the Libertarian Party?
No, that's what I was gonna say. There's no grift for Libertarian though. Like
there ain't
Libertarian, you will be hated. A lot.
By everyone, especially by you this week. You've had quite a little what's your problem, Alex?
I was holding back and I became the Carlin of the Libertarian Party. No, just kidding. So I had my moment.
You were having a lot of moments. You were hating all over the Libertarians. I was like, ooh, what is going on? And this is after you already bought Pork Fest tickets. Don't think I don't know. I know everything.
Well, yes, but still differentiating. No, but I was just, oh gosh, I was holding back a bit, and I had been in it for a while. I was a part of local Zoom and stuff for about a year. So I felt like I really had made up my mind and about things, and I there was some post-Roe re here and there, and I just was like, I'm really a conservative. Like, what the hell am I doing here?
I distinctly remember someone stopping away in a huff in one of our Zoom calls the other day.
Well, I did, by the way. But I mean, I was working too, so I had to go anyways, but it was a good exit. Still the show. I'm still a Leo at the end of the day, right? But yeah, it was like, it's hard to not be like a leftist. I think regardless of what we're on the aisle, it's like everybody loves to be big tent and everybody loves to agree to disagree until it's time to actually do it. But I think we all are okay. No ties were severed.
Well, Nat D says, point of personal privilege.
No privilege point, nothing. No.
Well, I will say this. So what I'm told, what I hear, the rumor on Twitter is that I do not allow disagreement ever, and that anyone who disagrees with me is going to be excommunicated, and I'm going to hate them forever, and we're going to get in a fight, and then you're going to defect and join the horde. And there was even a whole, if I recall, video this week.
Oh God!
With you making an appearance in it specifically.
Split seconds. But I was there, and I did see in the chat someone was like, "Who's that beta male with her?"
Oh, they were even saying in the chat, they were like, Alex is going to leave at any point. Alex and her are going to get in a fight, and she's going to, do what she does, and they're going to have a falling out. Have we had a falling out after you stomped away in a huff from my Zoom meeting?
No falling out, but I am, I'm not going to be in as many libertarian spaces. I value my time there. I did learn things, right? I connected with people that I really like, but I'm like, there can be some places for libertarians alone.
There are just libertarians in my Zoom. Everyone is in my Zoom.
Well, I finally tapped out, but I'm okay.
You'll be back. We all know it.
You'll
be back. You can't resist. You want to.
You would only be able to get me in probably with tea or something. So.
Well, we do gossip quite frequently.
I know, that's the only thing. But I'm holding back. So.
Well, I do want to. There's some other things I want to gossip about before we get started. Yeah, well, we apparently, yes. You've been trying very diligently to start a feud with me all week. And I've basically been like, no.
I had feelings. They were expressed, and now it's over. Now it's over. I don't have any more feelings. I said them all.
We'll have to take care of that, won't we? We'll have to re-up the feelings.
I'm sure there will be no disappointment.
No, but guys, welcome to Sassy Saturday. This is a stream that Alex and I do, well, on a fairly regular basis now, where we basically watch videos of other content creators on the internet, and we act a little bit bitchy and a little bit critical, and we also give out sage life advice, I feel like. I gave Carrie Smith on our season finale of season 1 of Sassy Saturday, I gave Carrie Smith 30 effing compliments in a single stream.
Wow, that time. That was a good moment.
And she still said I was a narcissist and a psychopath, and it was a hate stream. And a vampire and psychotic and a parasite.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. I can't stand the parasite talk. And that's the thing.
It's really bad. It's like legit Nazi.
Yeah, it's bad. And I did love, shout out to Just Asking when he was on your re-stream, and he was like, he's like, it's not even that I'm always thinking that Carlin's saying or doing the right thing. He's like, I just defend her because they're so awful. It's true. Their behavior is crazy. And again, I have mega disagreements with Carlin, as evidenced, and even publicly so. But, you express yourself. Carlin handled it. She did fight me back a little bit. There was some snips here and there, but I still like Carlin. So
we're allowed to have our own opinions.
Yes, and we learn and grow by talking to people we don't agree with, which again, everybody wants to say they're big tent or they're open-minded or whatever until you are actually having to be.
It's all fun and games until people actually expect to be able to have an opinion in the big tent that claims to allow a diversity of opinion. And it's all fun and games until people are like, yeah, remember that time when you guys said that we could disagree on things and still not cancel each other? Oh.
I did not cancel Carlin.
No, you
Carlin
tried.
did not cancel me. No, I didn't cancel you. I criticized the libertarians. And I said what I said. They took it well. And that's it. I don't have anything else to say.
It's okay, Alex, because, you know, here's the thing. You are already planning on coming to PorkFest 2023. You already have your tickets. We are going to have a big Carlin meetup. And also, obviously, we're going to engage in cult worship at PorkFest. I'm going to make you guys dance around a fucking fire. I'm going to make you guys all wear t-shirts with my face on them. It's going to be great. But while you're worshiping me at PorkFest, what we're also going to do is introduce you to libertarian culture. We will turn you by the end of the week.
No.
I'm playing the long game here, Alex. I don't need you to like libertarians right this second. But I'm predicting right 1 year from today. 1 year from today, you will be you will be a libertarian. We're gonna get you. It's gonna happen.
No. Libertarians are like vegans. Many of us have heard the arguments and we don't agree. I've heard it for 10 years, 15 years. I've heard libertarian things. No, I'm not one. Don't like.
So you'll just come to our state and enjoy our festivals and then go home and say we all suck.
No, the thing is I have a split where like half of libertarians, I'm like, oh my gosh, I love you so much. Like, you're so amazing. And then the other half, I'm like, oh gosh. And I just want to run and never talk to them again. And then Carlin's like in the middle. No, I'm just kidding. Carlin's like a mixture of both sides. So she irritates me and then she dazzles me. So she's got both where I'm like, whoa.
Can you do spirit fingers when you say dazzle, please? Dazzle.
She says things I would never think of. And then she says things I'm like, oh my fucking God, Carlin. You know? So conservatives in the chat, you are not alone. I feel you. I really do. But you can't look away because Carlin is very entertaining and
usually right, almost always right like 98% of the time.
We'll see. I always say, like, if Carlin's quit, I would be so sad, and I do not ever want her to quit. It is her liberal side. Thank you, Nat. Thank you. Yes.
Wow. Yes, exactly. I don't know about that. Well, Alex, you picked out the video that we're going to be watching for Sassy Saturday today, and we are going to be watching apparently a debate between John Doyle and Hunter Avallone. I don't know why you're making me watch John Doyle again. Do you have a thing for John Doyle?
One last time, Ariana Grande. One last time.
Now, so what made you pick out this particular video for us to watch?
Because I feel like I want to see the Gen Z cringe. Like, I want to see what's going on with the future.
Gen Z? Oh, yeah, I was thinking Gen X in my head. I was like, they're not Gen X. No, Gen Z. That's a completely different generation.
Yeah. I want to see the Gen Z discourse. I want to see what Gen Z left is saying to Gen Z right, quote unquote, even though it's alt-right, obviously. But we want to see what they're saying. So I'm curious. And if John Doyle manages to push me to defend Hunter, I will forever hate his guts for all eternity. So I'm hoping that Hunter will be just as bad.
I genuinely hope that John Doyle kicks Hunter Avallone's ass in this debate. I really do. I am rooting for John Doyle on this one because I do not like Hunter Avallone. Like, there was a time when I did. There was a time when I felt sorry for him, and now I just think he's a grifter piece of shit that is like basically a waste of internet space that will say whatever he needs to do to like get his cringeworthy audience to react to him. And so I genuinely hope that John Doyle kicks his ass in this debate.
I have to say, your debate, discussion, whatever with Hunter, that was like top tier. I loved it.
You
It
did?
was so extra. I
Did you
loved
like
it.
how I just basically dismissed all of his arguments just like out of hand? I was like, I'm not even going to acknowledge this. I'm gonna argue how I want to argue.
I think that I literally probably watched it like 3 times. And I just watched it like 2 months ago. Like I had to relive it. And I remember I was playing Sims while I was watching it. It was top tier levels of internet It was good. And then even like his extra like burning the bridge with Carlin, like the title was so extra. I'm just like, dude, please.
Dude. Like, come on. Like, what a douche. I'm gonna put a poll in the chat, and I wanna see who the audience wants to win the debate. Who are you rooting for? Who do you want to win? Do you want John Doyle or Hunter Avallone? Both internet supervillains, but you know, one of them is more evil than the other, I think.
Well, I don't know. They're really up neck and neck in terms of evil.
I do actually think that John Doyle believes the things that he says. Hunter Avallone, skeptical. So I have to give John Doyle points for like actually probably believing most of the things that come out of his mouth. That's a little less like you can have offensive opinions and wrong opinions, but you know, he's young, he's allowed to believe wrong things. Hunter Avallone, I don't think has any verifiable position on anything.
You think he's just like the oh gosh, I want to say this kinder. I don't, but basically like there's nothing beneath the surface.
I really don't think there is. I don't think he's that smart. I think his wife, I think any smart idea that Hunter Avallone has probably comes from his wife. I do. I think his wife is substantially smarter than him.
I mean, it's interesting too, though, because isn't it weird how, like, a lot of times people who have different beliefs, they kind of live like the opposite lifestyle? Because, like, Hunter got young and had kids really young, which is very conservative, and he's not at all. And what the hell is John Doyle doing? Obviously, not that. So,
well, we at least know that Hunter has had sex, which we don't know that about John Doyle.
I'm not going to comment. See, that's why it's good that Carlin's here, because she can say things like that. And then I can be mean when she can't. We help each other.
Not that there's anything wrong with being a virgin, but we at least know that one of them has lost their virginity. There's nothing wrong with being a virgin, though. There's no shame in it, John. Wait until you find the right person.
Yeah, he went vegan? No, that's probably a big part of why.
Wait. Hunter Avallone is a vegan and an atheist?
Oh, gosh.
And he transitioned to leftism? Oh, God, that was definitely his wife. You know that came from his wife. You know what happened there.
Oh, no, that's bad. Hunter's wife, no, it's going to make his testosterone go low and he's going to be really irritable and no.
Well, she's already got the 2 kids. They probably don't need any more. So, you know.
Well, I guess it's birth control, I guess. Okay, well, it's with the times, right? We're all talking about birth control now. So
I genuinely hope people do talk about birth control. Birth control is a miracle that people should avail themselves of. And it does work when you use it.
We can agree on birth control. You gotta take the agreements where they are.
Big fan of birth control. Big fan. So before we get into this here video, though, because it is a little bit shorter, guys, this video is only half an hour long, which means it'll take Alex and I at least 2.5 hours to watch the whole thing.
Probably. We'll probably react to every word.
But there was another video this week, an unexpected video by the Horde, and I was taken aback, and I wasn't even gonna do anything about it at first, and then I was like, I've got some free time this afternoon, why don't we just do a meta reaction stream and get it over with? And it was just like the same arguments over and over and over and over again that Carrie Smith and Mike Harlow's bullying horde have been running their mouths about for months and months and months and months and months. It's like these people can't even get a new script. They're more obsessed with things that happened 2 years ago to me than like I am.
I don't know. Like, I mean, if I were to do a documentary on Carlin, I would probably say things differently. You know, I would say Carlin tried. She tried to get along with Republicans. She gave it her best shot. Everything with 2020 went down. I think conservatives were extremely traumatized after that event. And, you know, certain things got a little bit more negative. And, you know, we kind of went back into, on the right, we went back into Obama mode, which Obama mode is very different than Trump mode. And it will switch back if, you know, if it changes. But it's something that you'd only understand if you were on the right. So Carlin's obviously not going to understand that.
No, I do not understand wanting to be perpetual losers forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. You're absolutely right. I do not understand that.
No, I'm saying like the attitude of it. So because it's in conservative world, if your president or whatever is in power and things are getting better, then you're happy in sunshine and rainbows. Mm-hmm. If not, if it's someone like Obama, who was really bad, or now Biden, who's even worse, so he's like really, really, really bad, then you go back into, you know, defense mode and conservative anger mode. It's very different. They're two very different modes. And so it would change back. But I think we'll see, I guess. But
I don't know.
Different things than Carlin does. So
true colors have already been shown. True colors have come through. I can't unsee the things I've seen.
Well, neither can I with libertarians, but that's okay.
God. Well, William says, I love you, Carlin. This is how you get your comment displayed on the screen without sending it a super chat. This is all you need to do. All you need to do is become a sycophant in my cult. That's it. Thank you, William. I appreciate it.
Oh my God.
So what did you think? I actually haven't asked you this. Like, what did you think of that restream just in general? Because you were featured in it. You watched some of it. Do you have any thoughts?
Oh, I had one more thought. Sorry.
Uh-oh.
Conservatives, they're scared because of January 6th. So they shut up, and then all these alt-right idiots spoke instead.
Yes,
that is what happened. Yeah,
that is very, very true. And I keep trying to explain this to conservatives every time they say, "Don't generalize about us, Carolyn." I'm like, you are not speaking.
They're scared.
And in the absence of you speaking and making your voice heard, the worst element on your side is filling that void.
Lauren, good old Lauren Witzke.
So if you don't want the worst element on your side to represent you, you have to speak louder than them. And if you refuse to do it, it is not my fault.
Yeah.
So stop complaining at me and complain at them.
Is the alt-right is very much like leftists. So you will get hate and and all this crap, which conservatives are like scared, and they mistakenly believe that the alt-right is fighting for them. They are not. If you want to be purity testing and you want to do this on the Republican Party, you need to kick them out. They're not going to help us win. They're not going to put in things that we want. You want to appeal more towards centrists on certain issues, like, I don't know, guns, for example. That's like a very popular thing for like most sides of the spectrum.
I don't want to appeal to centrists on guns.
No, I'm saying centrists and people on the left at this point all want their Second Amendment. So be strong on that issue. Does that make any sense?
Well, I mean, they did just pass a bill with like red flag laws and all that bullshit in it. So but it's really bad. It's really bad. Conservative politicians throw their voters under the bus all the time.
I know. Well, it's all fucked up basically at this point. So at this point, you just have to light a candle and just wait until the circus comes to a close.
Well, I do have an easy way for you to make a couple of bucks, Alex. Do you want to hear what this easy way is?
Oh God, what?
Hypocrite.
Make a video hating you?
Well, no. Well, kind of. Actually, no, this is really easy. Anyone can take advantage of this. So iHypocrite actually commented on my channel like a couple of, actually, can I bring it up? I can probably bring it up. iHypocrite commented on my channel a couple hours ago, basically saying if anyone could find a single lie in that video he made of me, then he would PayPal them $100. And let me just see. Let me make sure I can find it here because I know I have it somewhere. Oh, here it is. Found it. Found it. All right. So here's what he says. Here is the deal. Hang on. Oh, share. Wrong one. Share screen. Here's the comment. I will pay $100 to anyone that can tell me what claim I made, which was proven wrong by Carlin. All you have to do is show where I made the claim, show where it was disproven by Carlin. Do that, and I will PayPal you the money. And he did make claims that I absolutely disprove. And so I just want to make a challenge. Like I can very easily do this. I can actually disprove many claims that he made in that video. But if anyone wants to take advantage of getting $100 from iHypocrite, to be honest, I'm going to spend the day at the beach tomorrow with Victor and I are going to the beach with some friends of ours. And so I don't know that I'll actually be able to do this tomorrow. But if anyone else wants to take a stab at it, that is $100 on the table, allegedly from iHypocrite. And Alex, I know you know this stuff. I know you know this stuff.
I do. Yeah, it's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Following Carlin has been a trip. It has been a wild, wild journey.
Why do you say that?
Because it's like everything changes all the time. So in 6 months, Carlin will be ringing about something totally different than what she's ringing about now.
And I'll still be right and correct.
Oh my God.
I was right and correct about the white identitarians, which is what he's talking about there. I was right and correct. It was bad. And I was playing video evidence and he was like, no, I don't have time for this. I spent too many hours making a hit piece video of you. It was dumb. It was like he was such a fucking coward, wasn't he?
And I hadn't watched it because I was working, because I was doing the actual conservative thing and I was working. You know how conservatives are always like, I have a job and da-da-da. That was me. But I'm impressed with myself because I still had a presence in that stream. You still put a comment up. I still did some sass, all while still working. So I did good. I was proud of myself that day.
It was deeply impressive, Alex.
And I ended up on the haters video. So that was like...
Did that make your life?
It didn't make my life, but it definitely made my day.
I'm sure we'll take it. Nat D says, listen to Bad Religion song. The kids are alt-right.
Oh my God.
Indeed. All right. Well, I guess we can maybe get into this video. Now, I want Alex, I need you to make a choice for me. I have two nice cold beers and I have a Superman fruit punch or a Dream Patch fruited sour with cherry, blueberry, and raspberry. Which of these two delightful beverages should I drink?
What was the first one again?
This is a Superman fruit punch, which is a fruit punch goose ale. And this is a Dream Patch fruited sour with cherry, blueberry, and raspberry.
Maybe do Dream Patch.
Dream Patch? That's what I was thinking. So I'm glad you chose that. And it's so hot in my office. Is it like 8,000 degrees there?
It's really hot here. It's hot enough to kill a cow.
I'm so looking forward to this beer just because I know it's going to be like nice and fruity and cold. And it's already sweating.
The other thing I wanted to say about the video.
Look at that color. Oh, it's so pretty.
I could not stand. It was so tabloid-esque. It was like so low quality.
So like, cheesy. It was so bad.
Okay. Guys, there are real things you can criticize Carlin for.
Many real things.
I've done it many times.
Many real things.
That people can actually say that are not good, how she's handled certain things are not well, etc. You do not have to lie. You do not have to take things out of context. You don't have to do anything. Carlin is far from perfect. It's easy. I'm not going to sit here and make a whole ass video about it because I know Carlin. And if I have something to say, I tell her. And sometimes publicly subtweet.
Sometimes spend an entire day subtweeting about me.
But the message still gets there. And yeah, so I don't have to make a whole ass video about it. But, you know, Carlin's my friend. I want her to do well. So I'm going to say things when I need to, but then I'm okay. And Carlin has many things to say to conservatives in general, and also likely to me as well. But
well, and you know, we say whatever we want to each other, but I simply cannot understand the mentality of spending hours upon hours upon hours of watching videos of someone that you hate just to find the things that you can pull out of context and twist to make them seem like worse than they are.
It was so tabloid. It was crazy. And I don't know what this is of like, these people are trying to bring back like even leftist cancel culture from the grave. Like, it is dying. Let it die. You know, even the left, they're like, ooh, because of everything that they've done and how awful the economy and everything is. They're just quiet now. I've noticed a lot of them are quiet on a lot of issues now. It's dying. Just let cancel culture die. Don't try to bring it back to the right, especially this new right-wing leftist style cancel culture. Like, this is not going to happen. This is ridiculous. And it's tabloids. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's like, I thought I was watching like one of those tea channels about talking about like the beauty community or something. I mean, it was on that level, and they want to act like they're so serious and whatever. And he wouldn't even talk to you about the issues. Like, I think some of these quote unquote conservatives and right-wing influencers, they're forgetting that this is still politics. Like, you can have sass, you can have drama, but there still is something that you're actually talking about. And when he was so upset that you brought up the white identitarians, which he definitely had a whole chapter on, and then he says you're deflecting, that's an actual political issue. Are you into politics or not, a hypocrite? And if not, then what the hell are you doing? Seriously. Even us, like, this is Sassy Saturday, but we're still going to discuss political discourse. It's not just drama, it's something more too.
Well, and you could tell that their priority was drama, because that in that one section of the video where they were talking about my tweets about the white identitarian specifically, like, I was talking about like, this is an actual problem that people need to pay attention to. And what he said is, but we ratioed your tweet, and isn't that more important? And it's like, dude, like,
that was so dumb.
That illustrates all of their priorities right there. And that illustrates the priorities of every single person who was in the chat, to include Carrie Smith, to include Mike Harlow, to include Deb Philman, to include every single member of the hater horde.
And
who were
they
like,
thought that was a good look too.
They think it's a good look to like prioritize ratioing people on Twitter over like something that they didn't even bother to understand what I was saying, over actually focusing on the issues that matter to normal people.
Or just hearing somebody out.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that's what I did at the time. I even challenged you on certain things at the time. I just didn't like the strategy of what you were doing. But you had your thoughts and I had mine, and that was it, you know? I've been saying things to Carlin forever. I've been giving her sass since June of last year. Like, it's been a minute. So, you know, she can take it, but she won't always listen, but neither will I. She'll try and try to make me libertarian, and I won't be.
Well, you know, I can still try. Now, Sticky Icky Ricky has a problem with my beer because he doesn't like me drinking awesome flavored fruity beers. He says, Peroni, no, I will not drink Italian water beer. I'm sorry, I will not drink Italian water beer. You can have as much as you want, though. Oh, God. Mason, Carrie, Gilletta, Smith, Jarvis. Thank you, Mason, for that. I know who Gilletta is. That's another libertarian thing, Alex. We'll have to bring you up to speed on that. All right. Anything else before we get started with this cringy video?
My final statement.
Okay.
On libertarians.
Oh, good.
There's no hate. There's just differences. And again, I have very split experiences. There are amazing libertarians. There are
like me.
There are horrible libertarians. And then there are libertarians like Carlin who are like two sides, you know?
I think I'm just amazing. I think I can just be 100% in the amazing category.
Well, I do the thing with Carlin though is I personally like her, so I do have a personal bias. But if I was just like seeing her in the wild as a libertarian, I'd be like, oh, she's like half there, half not. That's what I would say.
Oh, he did a video on me today. Did he?
Did he?
Another
Ooh.
video. He's obsessed with me. He must be in love with me.
Depending on how long, maybe we could watch it.
Oh, God. Now I have to look at what Jennifer posted in our locals. Jennifer is going to be coming on the channel, too. Jennifer, I emailed you earlier today because Jennifer used to be in a cult. Oh,
yeah, I'm so excited.
He did
How long
another
ago?
video. It's like 50 minutes long, where apparently he's talking about other things too, but I don't know if I want to watch it. I don't know. It's kind of like Hypocrite to me is like on the same level as Mike Harlow, where I just don't think he's smart. I don't think he is worthy of any attention at all. That's why I blocked him a year ago. And I, and it was just like, he is one of the people that is appealing to the absolute lowest common denominator of people.
Low-hanging fruit.
It's so cringy.
Yeah, I don't know. It was so bad.
It was really bad.
And one of my friends really likes him and loved the video about you, because remember you have a one of my friends,
I know your friend who pretends that she has $10,000 when she obviously doesn't have $10,000.
I'm not going to say anything about her, but no, the thing is that I don't agree with her. I did not like the video. I did not like Hypocrite. I thought it was stupid. So
yeah. Well, I think that he's just having some feelings about the fact that I posted a clip on my channel calling him out for being the obvious coward that he is, and for running away when he was presented with a 2-minute video that directly contradicted the story he was claiming in that video, refused to even watch it, complained about even being shown evidence that contradicted what he said in that video, and then ran away like the scared little girl that he is.
It was stupid. It was so dumb. Also, Just Asking was awesome.
Yeah.
Loved it.
He was very good looking, wasn't he?
Yes.
I agree. I wasn't expecting him to be quite that calm. I had literally never spoken to him before, so I wasn't sure what to expect when he called in, and I was like, man, it was nice. It was nice.
Out of this, I work for my own food and money, so for the whore, you can go suck a fat one. Go get a job.
Exactly. All right, Alex, are we ready to jump into this debate?
I'm ready.
I don't know what to expect here. I haven't watched any of it. All right. Oh, we'd have to do our prayer. We almost forgot our prayer. Oh my God. It's a tradition on Sassy Saturdays that Alex will lead us in a moment of prayer for our grace and humility and sanity and all of these things.
Okay. I need to again collect the thoughts. Okay. Okay. Dear Lord, I want to pray for Hunter. Please help Hunter find his inner voice, his inner core. Please help him find his own sense of authenticity. And I'm going to be honest, Lord, please help him leave the vegan diet. It's horrible. I also want to just say, I want to bless him and his family and his children and his wife. Please, create peace for them and, keep it a very loving environment forever and ever. And I also want to pray for John Doyle again. I have similar prayers for John. Please help John Doyle find his own inner core and authenticity and, help him find whatever it is he's looking for, as long as it's a good thing, help him find some peace and satisfaction in life. And also I want to pray for me and Carlin. I want to thank you, Lord, for introducing Carlin into my life. It has been amazing and crazy as hell. And I also want to thank you, Lord, for the opportunities of growth and hearing from, so many different people over the past year and the locals and everything, and how much it's helped me. I also want to pray for for both me and Carlin, as far as this debate goes, that we can be as, you know, we can have some fire content and not be biased one way or the other, even though it's very hard to be. And I also want to pray for the audience that they will handle it well enough. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Everyone got a prayer today. Everyone got a mention. It was like when I Hypocrite includes everyone in his video about me. Like, you included everyone in prayer. How much nicer is that?
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
I just like how your prayers are like just slightly passive aggressive, but also highly relevant.
Yeah. Well, you gotta be honest, you know? You gotta be honest. And I do genuinely mean all that. I was accused in past streams of it being sanctimonious BS. And I said, I just called out that the person hadn't even watched, which was stupid. So you're gonna say what it was when you didn't even watch it. We have another psychic on our hands, you guys. But I also just want to say that no, like, it's genuine. I can assure you there is no grift in saying that you're a gay Christian. There is zero. And being a gay Christian Trump supporter, there is not that much of a grift. I mean, maybe you could try with the Trump thing, but it's a little late at this point.
It's a little late. It's a little late.
Yeah, should have done it in 2017, but oh well.
All right. Well, our audience poll, it looks like 70% of people want John Doyle to win and only 30% want Hunter Avallone to win. Yes.
Interesting.
So I guess we'll see what happens. Are you ready to get started?
I'm ready.
All right. We've done our prayer. We're ready to go. Tom J says, great prayer, but also let's pray we have a good summer starting with July 4th, America. Yes, everyone, happy 4th of July weekend. It's going to be a beautiful weekend, and I hope everyone has awesome plans and everyone has a great time.
Yes.
All right. Here we go. We're not watching John Doyle again next time, Alex. I'm putting my foot down. We're watching something else. Okay.
It was it was the Hunter Avallone angle, and I just needed to see the Gen Z cringe. I needed to see it. So let's see.
Let's get this party started. Let's go.
It's not just that. Again, it's that by having diversity, you avoid this idea of groupthink. You break away from groupthink, and you are able to innovate faster. Why is it?
Groupthink is good.
But it's not. So that literally weakens the military.
Let's go point by point. No, it doesn't. Let's go point by point.
Groupthink is not good. And I'm sure this is just a preview, but John Doyle is wrong here. Hunter Avallone is right on some respect, but I suspect he's not right about it in the way that he thinks. Like, he's talking about diversity, like skin color and like sexual orientation, and that's not the type of diversity that helps break people out of groupthink at all. So they're both wrong already.
The left is very much against actual differences in thoughts, and especially if you have different skin tones and sexualities, they really hate that. So they're even worse.
It's true. Did you see the video that Lady Maga posted on Twitter?
No.
Lady Maga, who is a obviously like a MAGA drag queen, she went to a abortion protest or something, and a fucking leftist shoved her onto the ground. Like, clear as day, she turned around, the leftist shoved onto the ground.
Wow.
It's crazy. Anyway, so we're 15 seconds into this video and they're already both wrong. This bodes well.
Yeah, this will be fun.
Point then. I want to talk about the Europe versus Africa thing.
No, we're not going to talk. This has nothing to do with the actual military thing. I know that. No. I know you got to get back to your script. I understand that you have to get back to your script.
Oh, Hunter, you're one to talk.
I'm sorry. I'm one to talk. That your brain's operating at a higher level. I mean, I'm thinking.
I haven't been able to say a word, my dude. You've literally been just talking nonstop, and the non-biased mod isn't even helping at all. So this is exactly why, by the way. Hunter,
Ooh. What is that gay faggy little rose thing? I'm sorry. I know I just said a really bad word, but like that was just like the first thing that I should not have said that word, but that was like the first thing that came into my mind.
Look, Love it.
I feel so bad about saying that word, but honestly, that was just like pure stream of fucking content.
Look, I love it. I felt like I time traveled back in time. It was amazing. I felt like I was Back to the Future.
I'm about to get a strike like no one's business.
Oh, you're fine. I've said it on my channel all the time. Y'all, she gets a pass. Susan.
Pass, gay pass.
She looks like a lesbo. She's okay. No, I'm just kidding.
Exactly. It's the hair. The hair plays in my favor. I cannot believe I just said that word. I have never said that word before.
Look,
holy hell.
If we want to be real, I say it all the time. So I'm just going to be honest.
That's going to get fucking clipped. That's going to come back to bite me. I already fucking... It's let's just admit it. Like that logo is pretty gay. It's gay. It's gay, Hunter.
I loved it, Carlin.
Okay. I don't know if we're going to get anywhere with that. I did want to bring in another guest, Olivia. You want to go ahead and put them both on?
Well, wait. Who are you ambushing me with? Because we're not even done with our discussion yet. Andrew. Hey, John. What's up?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We
John
are
Doyle.
Entertainment here to discuss diversity, here to discuss the military.
Nice.
Hunter, how are we doing?
I'm doing good. Why we took so long to get this set up. I'm happy to see you, John. How you doing, man?
It is true. I'm doing pretty well. You know, I don't want to stand on ceremony with this sort of performative fraternity, Hunter. You know, you had some very abrasive things to say about me in your video, which admittedly I didn't watch. Admittedly, I also didn't rewatch my video in preparation for this. Because of course,
Hang on, what was that?
Chat, I need to know who you guys think is gayer out of the two of them.
Oh God. Okay, we'll do a poll. Okay. Who is gayer? John Doyle or Hunter Avallone? Okay. Polls in the chat. Let me know what you guys think. God. I kind of like, I mean, John Doyle did come in though with like big dick energy. I'm going to give him that. He came into this stream, into this ambush with big dick energy. Hunter looks like he's about to cry.
He does look like he's about to cry, but I also think John Doyle is cringy. Oh my gosh.
They're both cringy, but I respect the swagger that John Doyle came in with.
I told you. Do you see why people are scared for the future? Look at this. Look. See it with your eyes, Carla.
This is our future. We are looking into. I mean, no, but there is truth in what you're saying, though, in terms of like this is the young political right versus the young political left. This is quite literally the people that one of those two is going to get elected to Congress. You know that.
Oh,
like
no.
At some point, one of those two is actually going to get elected to Congress.
I will fight Doyle with everything I have. That would be horrifying.
Well, Sticky Icky Ricky says cheesecake flavored beer makes you homophobic. Well, I'm not drinking cheesecake flavored beer. I'm drinking fruit punch flavored beer. Must be the fruit punch. All right, let's see. Oh, God, it's like really, guys, this poll is really close. It's actually 50-50 right now. 50-50. Okay, so we're going to play a little bit more, and you guys can register your votes about which you think is gayer.
Wanted to give you the biggest advantage possible. So you're going to have to refresh me a little bit on your critiques as we go along here. But yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, the main critique that I had was just you seem to be very much against this idea of diversity in the military. And that's just not true. Like, I thought that was
That's
quite
how you get your comment displayed on the screen, folks.
Virtually every single study we have, whether it's of a private business or of the military directly, we can see that diversity contributes to a significant amount of innovation.
But not of opinion.
Not that diversity.
Right. So,
diversity.
For those watching, people of Hunter's kin like to do this thing with studies where they basically use them like Pokemon cards.
And you do too.
So Hunter is going to take his studies and he's going to say, look at this study. It says this thing, blam. And it's like his argument is the title of the study. You know, he doesn't believe the people like as we saw with what Andrew.
Well, yeah, I mean, they both do it. Like, and this is why I cannot stand this debate bro culture, because they all misconstrue studies all the time. Like in every possible way. Like they'll take take a single sentence out of a study and you're like, okay, you have to go back and you have to look at the parameters of that study. You have to look at what the study is applicable to you. You have to look at the inclusion and exclusion criteria. And they never actually do that, which means they're never actually using the studies in the way the studies are intended to be used. And Sticky Ricky Icky says Hunter is definitely a bottom. I believe that. Yes, I agree. I absolutely 100% agree with that. I do.
You don't think he could switch it up? You know,
no.
Like you don't. Wow, you think with him it's just all one way?
Look at him. He looks like he's going to cry. Like he's not a top. I'm sorry, he's not. John Doyle, I could see as a top. I could see, or even as like a switch. Hunter, no, bottom. Sorry, it's not a judgment of like value, like whatever you like what you like, but I cannot see Hunter Avallone as a top. I can't.
I don't know. I feel like I could, but it'd be like, you know what it is? They're together. This is what it is. And I agree. I've talked with Sam about certain things before. And he said that he feels like, I'm throwing him totally under the bus. He feels like John is like power bottom energy. Mm-hmm. And I feel like Hunter would be like a sub top, that they could be together. They're a match.
That may be. That might be why the universe brought them together.
Yeah.
On a single stream.
It seems like they're flirting with each other right now.
Oh God, it does seem like John Doyle's kind of flirting with him, doesn't it? It really does a little bit. Like John Doyle swooped into the bar and went up and bought Hunter a drink and is like delivering it, sliding it across the bar.
I feel like I'm watching a gay erotica or something.
It's true. It's true.
We're inspiring fan fiction right now, Carlin.
You know, this is one of those things where you make a joke and then a week later that joke becomes a real thing. You understand that, right? Oh, God. Well, King Peter of the chat says, so the logo has a rose, which is the symbol of the democratic socialism. So that's a really good observation, Peter. I had not thought of that, but I think that's a good observation. All right.
Was saying can experience things, can infer data, can use their inductive reasoning, things like that. So that's why, it's always studies and data. So, people like Hunter also, it's not a coincidence that they're so obsessed with things like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, right? Like they conceptualize diversity.
Hold on,
wait, not you.
Is this actually your argument right now? Is the idea of shitting on data?
Oh my God,
and factual information because you think that feelings outweigh facts? Is that it? I never said. Hold on.
No, if you would listen to my argument, I know this isn't one of your reaction streams where you're going to pause what I'm saying and have your little clip.
Well, this isn't one of your videos where you can just make up a bunch of lies about what I think.
Okay, I'm sorry. I love John Doyle in this video. I love him. He is freaking exactly. John Doyle in this video for me is making up for that Gaston video that we watched last time. Like I love the big dick energy that he is bringing to this discussion. I want John Doyle to make Hunter Avallone his bitch.
I will say Hunter is not bringing it at all. Like, it's the veganism, the brain cells have died. He cannot speak, or he's like seizing up. It's pretty bad.
I love it. I love it. I'm actually slowly converting. We're 3 minutes into this video and I am slowly converting over to a John Doyle fan already.
No.
In this video. Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes, it's happening. It might happen. William says, I like Alex, but he needs to go gangsta. Malt liquor and hair net, chips and smart water is not working. You are a gangsta. You hear that, Alex?
No, I'm not.
Yes. I might be by the end of this video a doily. I might be, which doily is the name that Alex has come up with for John Doyle's fans. I'm like I'm right now almost ascending to doily status.
Definitely a descent. We'll see when he starts getting racist. Then we'll see how much Carlin loves it.
Well, I like that. Even if I disagree with someone, if they bring the heat and the fire and they bring good, dominant energy to the conversation, I want to see John Doyle completely dominate Hunter Avallone.
He is right now.
He is right
Hunter
now.
is like frozen, deer in headlights.
And speaking of which, we have a poll update, and I think we've got some good answers now. So 42% of our viewers think that John Doyle is gayer, and 58% of our viewers think Hunter Avallone is gayer.
Okay.
I'll take that.
I accept it.
I accept it as well. And Sticky Icky Ricky says the question is whether John Doyle has the common courtesy to give Hunter a reach around.
Oh my gosh.
This is gonna be one of our most bitchy streams ever.
It really is. I'm sorry. It's the Gen Z energy. It just brings it out.
This is what happens when we start at 9:30 instead of 6 o'clock.
Carlin just like drops F-bombs like nothing at this time.
It's like I've been waiting all day. Like, let's get it going.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Think.
Let's just go one
let
at
me
a
just
time.
finish my opening monologue here. My point was going to be that people of Hunter's coalition, maybe not him necessarily, since we want to get specific here, they can only conceptualize diversity like a team of superheroes, right? Or like the what was that Pixar movie, Inside Out, where you've got like this guy with this strength, and then this guy is really good at this thing, and they all come together, and then they beat the bad guy. That's not actually how it works. And you know what it comes down to, basically in brass tacks, is that anything the military is doing besides focusing on destroying enemies and their resources and securing our borders is by definition operating at a less efficient way than it should be.
True.
And so the whole idea
Agree.
behind diverse identities,
Not
as
wrong.
Hunter articulated, is this idea that like, oh, well, you know, if you've got the white guy, he's going to have this way of looking at it. If you have the black guy, he's going to have this way of looking at it. And when they all come together, you know, they can sort of figure out the best way possible because you have all these different perspectives.
That's not how the
And it
military
sounds
works.
when really
Well, that's not how the military works. It's also
No.
not how diversity of thought works, which again, like when Hunter says diversity, he's thinking about immutable characteristics. But with John Doyle, well, maybe John Doyle's not even making this argument, but the actual diversity that leads to a better performance of an organization is diversity of approach. It has nothing to do with immutable characteristics at all. So Hunter is just flat wrong in what he's saying on this. And John Doyle is not fully correct either, although he is absolutely correct that the only job of our military should be to actually defend us and like win wars and stuff like that. So on this, I'm already on team John Doyle. I don't think the
He's
military
right
needs
so
to do
far,
this
yeah.
like type of bullshit diversity training, which is going to fundamentally hinder their
No.
productivity.
It's bad. Yeah.
Yep. Now Neil is making a comment, and Neil, this is not. That's not Neil. That's Neil. Neil is saying, "Can we please grow up? The comment section is full of 6th graders." Neil, listen, Sassy Saturday is a little bit of a different stream. Sassy, if you want Neil, I know you haven't been around the channel that long. you haven't been in the
Libertarian.
chat, but like Neil, like if you want serious content, Sassy Saturday is not your stream. We embrace our inner 6th grader. We embrace our inner bitch on Sassy Saturday, and if it's not your cup of tea, you don't have to watch.
Yeah.
But if the expectation is that we are going to behave like adults, we're simply not going to fulfill that expectation
not
for
with
you.
this one. Especially not with this one.
No, it's not going to happen.
It's not.
But
Not
Neil, I
funny.
appreciate you, and I hope you come back on a different day.
That's the libertarian. That's what I'm talking about. Carlin, I'm going to show you what I mean, Carlin, because I bring it out. And
Listen.
Carlin doesn't know because she agrees with them. I don't. So I get all the re.
Listen, like libertarians are a bit autistic. They are. And in libertarian world, that is said with love, just because it is
No, I
factually
know.
true of at least 75% of people who are libertarians. So I'm not saying any shade. I'm not being shady against
Oh, no,
autistic
I'm
people.
saying, I know that libertarians are not evil or anything. I don't
No.
really ever believe that.
I'm not saying evil, I'm saying autistic. So sometimes they don't understand humor, and they don't understand like normal, well, I shouldn't say normal. There is no such thing as normal. Sometimes they just don't understand things in the way that we might understand things. And it's no big deal. We just have to explain.
Okay.
That's
all
it.
right.
That's it. All right.
really, like think about what that means. I mean, you're telling me that like, oh, we have more diversity because now we have gay people. Like, what defines gay people other than a fixation on anal sex? So you're like arguing to me literally that.
So, and also
no,
there's
but
studies,
that's what it is. It's a
but they're
fixation
all-
on anal sex.
okay.
Hunter, you gotta stop. You gotta
How
stop.
long is
big
your
guy.
opening
So
monologue
it's
going to
like-
be, dude? This isn't one of your
I
videos
know
where you
that.
just
I know.
get to just
I
go
know.
on a tangent.
I know. The big
Finish up
idea
so we can
scares the
talk.
tiny mind.
I know. Yes,
Anyways,
your feelings. They're very scary. Please finish up so we can start talking.
It's not 2016. See, this is your problem, Hunter. You never quite left 2016.
And
but
we're
we
back to
continue.
you
That's
just talking.
true!
Okay.
What I'm trying to do here.
I know
Holy
you-
shit! I can't argue with a thing John Doyle is saying. I just can't. I'm sorry. I'm upset that I'm agreeing with him and that I'm really enjoying it. I am.
I would say being gay is more than a fixation on anal sex.
Well,
It's
yes, of
also
course
being
that's
in
true,
love.
but he's being
There's
facetious.
love, John. Remember love that you've never felt because you're a heartless person. But there is such a thing as falling in love. You fall in love with someone of the same sex. That's also a part of it. Even if I never ever was going to do something like that in my whole life, and if I was like, I'm never going to have anal ever, I would still be in love with the person, John. There's a reason the left said 5 million times love is love, which it was not that great of an argument, but there was a point to it. There is love, John.
Okay, I want to clarify my statement. I do not agree that being gay is a fixation on anal sex. That was not what I was agreeing
No, I
with
know.
John
You're
Doyle's
talking about
position
him.
that like Hunter Avallone is stuck in 2016, which is true.
Well, I feel like John is stuck in like 2018. So
I mean, John might be stuck in the 50s is what he's stuck in. But again, I'm enjoying the masculine dominant energy. I just am.
All right, Carlin. All right.
I'm a mod on your side, but like, are you ever going to let me respond? Hey, Andrew,
No,
you're
don't
ever
let
gonna
him
let me
respond. Don't do it, John.
I know. See, this
Don't.
was the problem. I wanted to set up a debate between you guys. Hunter refused, and then he
I did not refuse.
on the.
I said
You
that I
did.
wanted- Hold on, wait.
No, you said
I don't
I'll
care if I
never
got to go
debate
against
him.
both of you
I'll
guys,
never,
but I will say
you said
I
never,
said that I wanted a non-biased moderator, and it's
yeah,
already
and have I
proving-
said no? How have
and
I
it's
said
already
anything? I
proving
haven't said
that it should have
anything.
been that
I haven't
way.
said anything. No.
If I could just comment on the structure of the debate, typically the way
Oh my
these
God.
actual debates, as opposed to internet blood sports go, is one side will speak for 5-10 minutes, the other side will speak for 5-10 minutes. There's questions, etc. That's kind of the impression under which I was operating. So I'd like to be able to
That's not the
speak for a few
impression I was
minutes
operating on.
uninterrupted.
I just
And
wanted
then-
to interject with the fact that I haven't said anything, and he's saying there's a debate on.
I just want to say that it's really annoying that Hunter Avallone has been doing this professionally for like a really long effing time, and he can't even set up his screen to where we can see both of them. Like, there's basic levels of professionalism that should be involved.
Look, there's two aspects to this. It's the veganism. It does mess with the brain. I'm going to get a lot of hate from saying this, but I'm serious. It's bad. The second thing is the leftism. Leftism and technology. You give a liberal a computer, they can figure it out. They're amazing. But when a liberal becomes a leftist, they lose all technological skill. It's just something that dies.
They don't know how to use Zoom at all. They never know
They
how to use
don't.
Zoom.
They don't. As a conservative, I always sucked at technology and I always will. So it's just, it doesn't matter. But I don't know what happens to a left-wing person's brain where when they jump off that cliff, they lose all technological skills. I don't get it. But it happens. It's happening. We're watching it live.
Right in front of us right now.
On a moderator on your side, and this is why he refused to come on. But I'm perfectly able to sit here, as I've shown, and not say anything and let you guys talk. So let's go back to
You're not
to
letting me
both of
talk
them
right now.
because you just made a
just
claim that I'm.
Can I
Okay,
respond
go ahead,
to
John.
anything that John said, or is he literally
You-
going to sit
Yeah,
here?
you will
at the
have
end?
ample
Yes,
time. You
yes,
just
you
got to be
will.
Wait.
patient. Delayed
Are we going to do a
gratification. It's
5-minute,
tough for
5-minute
Hunter.
thing?
Oh
'Cause I'm
my
not doing
God.
that. We're
That'd
having a
be great.
discussion
Can you
back
speak
and
for
forth.
5 minutes extemporaneously? Are you afraid of that?
No, it's not that I'm afraid of
Oh,
it. It's
God.
actually
Yes!
is you say something, then I ask a question, then we kind of build upon that and have more of a conversation, not just you get to
That's
rant at your
not
camera
accurate.
for 5 minutes.
I didn't even go to college, Hunter. I know the collegiate level debate. There's the first affirmative, there's the first rebuttal. I mean, it goes in blocks. So I'm going to continue
isn't
with
a
what I was
formal
trying to say
debate.
here. Well, it is. I would like to think that we can operate at that level. I have a great amount of respect
I
for
can't
you,
believe
believe it
that
or
your
not.
version of a debate, you're so scared to
We
actually
gotta
just
stop.
talk back and forth. Are you afraid of my soy
You're
face?
the one not letting me talk.
I have to say. What were you going to say?
wasn't going to say anything. I just can't believe he said he had soy face.
I mean, it is an astonishing lack of self-awareness, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, maybe he had too much soy before he went live. I don't know. It's bad. It's not good to have low T. It's not. I'm public service announcement. It's not good, you guys.
I also have to say, like, I'm really unimpressed with the fact that Hunter is so hung up on the rules of the debate and like, can I talk? Can I talk? Can I speak now? Can I speak now? Like, it's just really like not a good look to just complain about the structure of the debate without actually addressing any of the topics.
Fuck, my brother in Christ, you gotta stop. I'm gonna just
My
continue.
brother in Christ,
Anyway,
you won't shut the
the
fuck
idea,
up.
the idea. You're so tough, dude. Like,
I
don't
never
understand
agreed
whole
to
tough
this. You're
thing.
literally just ambushing me and then saying, "Oh, it's a formal debate now, so you have to be quiet for 5
It is.
minutes."
It
Let's
is
actually
real.
talk about it.
Yeah.
Why do you think
Real.
that diversity does not benefit the military? What's your evidence of this?
See, I was going to continue. Anyways, the idea that diversity does inherently benefit the military, like in that video in particular, I think I was mainly talking about diversity in terms of sex and in terms of sexuality. So like literally, if you're going to argue that diversity in terms of sexuality benefits the military, what you're saying is that people whose identities center around anal sex and genital mutilation have something to offer to the military. Like they could read something written by von Clausewitz or something written by Sun Tzu, and they could actually amend that text and have a better idea of how to conquer enemies and defend borders than these people. And this kind of gets into the other thing. Well, even if not in terms of strategic innovation, in terms of technological innovation, you know, they have something to offer there because he mentioned as well, on the battlefield, only 10% of people are going to see combat, right? Now, in my opinion, that's more of an argument against the fact that the military has basically become a jobs program, less against the fact that, you know, it's not actually going to have a lot of people on the battlefield, but you've got the innovation at least, if not the combat aspect. The thing with that, though, is if you say you're going to have 1 million people that can be in the military, just to use that number, if you're going to just stock it with people, for diversity's sake, you're going to want to stock it with the most people who are the most likely to innovate. Because obviously, you know, I'm less innovative than the woman that he mentioned who created that technology.
Well,
but on average, I think that's what's important to look at.
I actually think that that's kind of true in a theoretical sense, but the way the military operates is like the people who are going to see combat, they don't have to be innovators. They aren't giving orders. They aren't doing anything really other than taking orders from their like superiors.
And the other thing too is John Doyle is buying into the leftist ideology that your sexuality affects how you think and how you see the world. It doesn't. Spoiler alert, you guys, as a gay person, I have many thoughts that are not typical of a gay person. I know it's shocking, but it's because it doesn't affect who you are necessarily. It's a very small part of who you are. So there are many, especially very masculine gay men, for example, or maybe some butch lesbos in there that would definitely be able to add into different strategic war, whatever, because it doesn't have anything to do with anything else. And that's, it's just ridiculous. This is where John acts like a leftist. He is buying into a leftist talking point because he is not conservative. And I will always say that. He is not. He is alt-right.
Well, it is kind of like saying that straight people are only straight because they have a fixation on vaginal sex, isn't
vagina,
it?
yeah.
Like, it's like, that's not actually an argument to them being effective at their jobs.
No. I mean,
like,
and it's
like how many straight men are addicted to porn? And I know that John Doyle doesn't like porn like at all, but I mean, like how many straight men in the military have porn addictions and still show up to work and are able to complete their jobs and they just have issues with that thing?
Well, how many straight men, you know, in somewhat not really quiet times on the battlefield, maybe they're thinking about their girlfriend or wife too.
Right. I mean, I bet probably a lot, to be honest.
Right.
Like when they're deployed.
There's been plenty of straight men that have had sex with hookers and prostitutes and stuff in different countries. But, you know, he doesn't think about that either. I mean, it doesn't have anything to do with how you think. I mean, this is so stupid. Oh my gosh. Anyways.
I agree. Well, Sticky Icky Ricky says Jack Murphy loves poop stuff. We've seen the pictures. We know. And then Tom J says, John isn't always right, but he says he went from libertarian to conservative. I found Carlin through her debating and beating him on Elijah. John says he wants a rematch. Well, I've actually talked about this before, but John Doyle said he wanted a rematch. But then when I followed up and said, I'm more than happy to have a rematch with you, John has never responded. So, John, if you want to talk to me, You need to respond to me. You know how to get in touch with me. If you don't know how to get in touch with me, Elijah sure as shit knows how to get in touch with me.
Right.
So you let me know. I am game anytime. I am not afraid of you. I will talk to you at any time, John. John, I have actually texted you offering to talk to you, and you refuse to answer. So if you want to talk to me, stop talking shit on Eliza's show, man up, and set up a time where we can have a discussion. I am more than happy to do it anytime. That
There
felt
you
good.
go.
That felt good. And Erica says, Doyle is annoying and seems to think he knows everything. As I said, he's like an annoying college professor. Well, you know, like in this case, so like look at this pause. Like Hunter looks like he's about to die, and John Doyle is like big brother, like rah! Like it's just the energy, man. I don't even need to agree with him. I just love the domination.
Oh my God. I just feel like, okay.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I feel like John's domination is a paper dragon. It's like not real. Like I know,
no, of course it's not real. I would dominate the shit out of John
it
Doyle
would
in a
just be
debate.
like popping a balloon.
Yeah.
It's nothing.
It's of course not real, but I
Right.
like, you know, sometimes you gotta fake it till you make it.
Hunter is very, 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 very beta though.
Very
So,
beta.
The fact that he is dominating anyone, that shows how non-dominant Hunter is.
Mhm.
That's a testament to that. Because John, I agree with Sam's assessment. He's probably a power bottom. I agree with Sam. I hope he's not mad I said that. I don't think he will be though.
No, he'll be fine. He'll be fine.
If you look at virtually 95%, which is an actual figure, 95% of the innovation, both scientific and technological, that took place on this planet between, I think, 800 BC and 1950 AD was done by European men. I don't know why that is.
That's not the relevance. The fact of the matter is that.
That was a little racist.
Hold on, wait. Are you serious right now? You're actually just going to do it. I'm going to hang up and leave, okay? If you don't let me actually talk and respond to some of this bullshit.
I'm almost done.
Hunter's about to take his toys and go home. He's like, I'm just going to hang up and leave. Just like I, hypocrite. Hunter's going to take his toys and go home.
Wait, okay. I need clarification too. Oh, hey, Sam's here.
Yeah, Sam says Sam is usually right. He usually is.
Did he hang up on you on your debate or did you leave?
Who? He kicked me out.
That's what I thought.
He kicked me out.
To you.
Oh yeah, he kicked me out. Yeah.
But you.
And then he DM'd me and he was like, "Come back," and I was like, "Fuck you."
Yeah, that's really weird. He's got very, very bad beta male energy.
Mm-hmm.
Bad. It's bad. He's not helping the vegan cause. Anyways, go ahead and continue.
Oh shoot! Hang on. Click the wrong thing.
Promise.
Why are you just talking? You think this is one of your videos right now? You've made like 50 claims. I'm not going to be able to respond to all of them. You're trying to gish gallop me, John. You're trying to gish gallop me. Yeah.
Gish gallop? What the fuck is a gish
You don't
gallop?
like the idea of having a conversation. You're used to just sitting down and saying, heck off, commie, LOL. You're breaking from your script. I know. You're really scared right now. So again,
you're the one who's afraid to talk for 5 minutes.
I'm not afraid to talk for 5 minutes. I'm actually interested in talking to you, not just talking.
No, you're not. Oh my God. Hunter Avallone is not interested in having a civil conversation. Hunter Avallone is only interested in making clickbait cringe content. And so for him to say, I just want to have a civil conversation. Here's what happens. Hunter right now knows he's being dominated by John Doyle, and he's trying to reclaim power in the situation by making himself look like just the nice civil one, and John Doyle is just the big meanie that's just come in, and he just wants to steamroll him in this debate and not let him talk. Hunter Avallone doesn't believe any of this. He doesn't believe any of this.
No, and that's the thing. Like, it's not working. Like, it wouldn't even work on SJW, I don't think, because even they would be like, why aren't you fighting him? Who the fuck is this working for, Hunter? Like, honestly, you look like a beta bitch. I'm gonna be honest, you do. And it's bad. He needs to learn how to argue with people. Like, he needs to practice. This is really bad.
Is this on Hunter Avallone? Hunter Avallone clipped this and put this on his own channel.
Yes.
If this had happened to me, I would have been embarrassed.
You would never put it on your channel.
I would never have put this on my channel. Never, not. In fact, I would have taken down the stream that this happened and hoped to God that no one else clipped it before I took it down.
Well, I think he put it up because of the money.
Because of the money.
That's
Because of the money.
why.
How many views has it gotten? I can't even tell. Hang on.
Oh, it doesn't even say.
34,000 views. So he's made a little bit of money from it anyway.
See?
Yeah.
That's all it is.
That's what it is. It's for money. That's
Grifter.
all it is.
Grift.
Her. I mean, it's kind of pathetic to debase yourself so boldly on the internet just to make a couple $100, because that's really probably what this video netted him, is like maybe like $500, maybe.
Right.
It's not worth it.
It's not. It isn't worth it. And it's not furthering his movement or anything. It's not helping his case at all.
I mean, does Hunter have a movement?
I don't know. Does he want to convert more people to the left? I don't know.
Oh, God, it's so pathetic. It really is. Tom J says, Hunter sounds like Kamala Harris. Oh, my God, Tom J, he does sound like Kamala Harris, doesn't he?
He does.
Wow.
Points out here.
How many
So
bullet
this
points are
idea
you going to
again
get out
about
till
the
I get to
groups
actually
that
respond to?
Well, this is how debates work, dude.
This is
Like,
not
I
how
know
a
what you're
debate works. This is
Anyway.
not how a debate works, my dude. Why don't we actually
the idea
talk?
that, like, oh, we have this one anecdote. We have this one anecdote of this woman who invented this particular piece of technology, this minority who invented this particular piece of technology.
That's racist.
In a vacuum, if you were to keep pumping the military with, say, European men, which is traditionally the founding stock of our military, eventually they would have come up with that technology. That's just a fact. Eventually they would have, because we can infer that from the fact that they've invented like virtually everything else. So
do you think that has anything to do with the fact that oftentimes like white people were dominating the country? So like, for example, you could say like, hey, black people didn't.
We're good at innovating stuff.
Well, no, you could say like, hey, how come black people didn't really present any good inventions during the time that they were?
So this is turning into a really, really dumb discussion already. Well, it already was to start with, let's be honest, but it's reaching a new level of stupidity. So we're now getting into hypotheticals of a possible alternate history or something that is based upon race and sex. So this is the level of cringe of Gen Z, where they will do hypothetical historical moments based on race and sexuality and sex. This is insane.
Yeah, I mean, I think the whole thing is ridiculous. It's like it's going to turn into just like a battle of semantics. Hunter isn't even arguing the points that John's making. He's just complaining that John is making points, and he's like, "You're making too many things to me to respond to." Well, Hunter, like, respond to the points instead of complaining about the number of points that he's making. And then they just make up hypotheticals, and it's like making stuff up, like cherry picking things out of studies. It's like, dude, this is why, Alex, I refuse to participate in this debate bro bullshit, because it is a giant waste of time.
Well, and the thing too is, it's like, maybe you're right. You know, I have never watched Hunter really, but I am getting the impression that he's not very intelligent. Why would you go for this? If John Doyle was on my channel or I was on his or whatever, and he was doing all this, I would be like, I'm not going to sit here and talk about hypothetical history based on race and sex. That is some leftist bullshit. Go talk to somebody else about that crap. That's basically what I would say. This is dumb, because this whole thing is dumb. But he hears that and he's like, oh my gosh, John said something racist. I need to be the savior of all, so I need to defend this. Don't even try. This is stupid. And that's what I would say. I'd be like, okay, you can go ahead and put everybody in your little leftist boxes, John, but I'm not going to play that game. People are individuals. It's like he's losing the plot here. That's what I would say. I'd be like, you're losing the point. The point is, military is there to protect, to fight, and defend. That's what it's there for. Anything else is a bunch of horse shit. That's basically all. And guess what? If anybody of any race and whatever, if they can do that, they can do it. And again, there are some nuances with women in the military, and especially on battle lines. Like, I understand certain things, but that's a much different discussion and a much more interesting discussion than the one that they're having. Race certainly does not matter. It just doesn't.
I completely agree with you. Erica says that first poll should have had a third option. Neither. They both stink. No, I purposely am not giving you guys that option. You have to choose. You have to choose one or the other. Sometimes you have to choose between
everyone.
Sometimes you have to choose between two less than ideal options, and it's
Could
just the
you
way of the world.
imagine a horrific. Well, you know what? You and Joshua would say that there is a reality out there because I just imagined it. But imagine the reality where it's a presidential debate between them two, and they're both going to be president.
Oh God, no!
They're like fighting it out.
No, we can't have that. That might be our future reality. You understand
I just
that?
created that universe, but imagine.
Don't manifest that, Alex.
Oh my God.
What are you doing? Don't ever say stuff out loud that you don't want to come to pass.
I don't. It is a warning, you guys. It's a warning. Do not go down this path.
Okay, let's keep going.
Enslaved, or during the time that Jim Crow was in place. Like, I don't think it's fair for you to just say, well, look, Europeans did this, and that's just because they're European, LOL. That's not how this works. What it is that oftentimes Europeans held more power, and they were in a privileged position where they were able to innovate at faster rates. But it doesn't mean that that is intrinsic to the fact that they are, in fact, European. And again, I'm not.
Then, okay,
but you keep trying to call what I'm saying like an anecdote. That's an example of some things that's some of the things that women have contributed or gay people have contributed. Sure. But it's not just that. Again, it's that by having diversity, you avoid this idea of groupthink. You break away from groupthink and you are able to innovate faster. Why is it?
Groupthink is good.
But okay, no, it's
So
not. That literally weakens the military.
John Doyle is wrong.
No, it doesn't. Let's go point by point then. I want to talk about the Europe versus Africa thing.
No, we're not going to talk. This has nothing to do with the actual military thing. I know that. No. I know you got to get back to your script. I understand that you have to get back to your script. Okay, but hold on. We're actually talking now.
Nobody watching this actually thinks that your brain's operating at a higher level. I mean,
why does Hunter believe that he gets to dictate what points John Doyle can and cannot make? If you're going to be in a debate, John Doyle gets to make points, and Hunter gets to counter those points, and Hunter gets to make points, and John Doyle gets to counter those points. But Hunter does not get to dictate what points John Doyle makes. Why am oh God, fuck you, Hunter. I fucking hate you for this. Like, I am completely a doily in this debate. I completely am on John Doyle's side.
I take no side. I'm the libertarian in this debate.
See, I told you we'd make you a libertarian. I told you.
In this debate, in a
you're like both parties suck. I'm a libertarian. That's how that works.
Okay, I'll tell you what. If it's 2045 or whatever the fuck, and it's him versus him, I will probably vote libertarian. And
Excellent.
Probably. Or hopefully I will have already left to another country. If we ever got to that point, I would be like, oh my fucking God. But you know what? Just for you, Carlin, I would mail in a libertarian vote. That would probably be burned before
we're gonna have you wearing gold before the end of the week. I'm gonna send you
I'm
gonna send you a libertarian t-shirt. I'm gonna expect you to wear it on our next Sassy Saturday.
Oh my God.
I'm thinking
I haven't been able to say a word, my dude. You've literally been just talking nonstop. And the non-biased mod isn't even helping at all. So this is exactly why, by the way.
Hunter. I thought when I spoke earlier, I was being too biased. Okay, John, let's give Hunter a few minutes to say what he wants to say. Okay. I didn't want to appear too biased because,
So let it be known that I said that I was more than happy to debate John Doyle, and
you did not. No, you
shut up, Andrew. So I said that I was more than happy. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and mute. So I said that I was more than happy to debate John Doyle, for example, on Modern Day Debate. And I said Modern Day Debate, and on Modern Day Debate, they reached out multiple times. John Doyle never responded. Wow. And I directly said, I'm not so sure I want to debate on your platform, Andrew, because I feel like you're going to
never debate John on my show. And
I said because you were going to be biased, and you've now let John go on, because you've let John ramble on for the last 10 minutes and haven't let me get a single word in.
And as soon as you complained, I said you can have the floor now, and John just agreed. So instead of complaining further, just say what you want to say.
Okay. Thank you.
So again, my claim is not that we need to impose diversity on the military. My claim is that by letting more people into the military of all different diverse backgrounds, you are benefiting innovation. And John, I know that you say like, that's not true, blah, blah, blah.
Hang on. Is there some rule where black people can't join the military or gay people can't join the military? Or like,
No, it
I
might
thought
be
that we had
something-
overcome that.
Maybe it's something John wishes in his wildest dreams, but there have been gay men in the military for a minute. I remember hearing
a
about
long
Donald
time.
Trump. There have definitely been black men in the military for a hot ass minute, and also the women's. So I guess maybe he wants to go back to everything. And I agree. Like, what is this idea that the military innovates? They listen to orders.
The military does not innovate. If anyone connected to the military innovates, it's like the contractors that are coming up with whatever crazy creations that they want to sell to the government for hundreds of millions of our taxpayer dollars that will go somewhere and never be used. And it's like the military is not the ones doing the innovation. It's the government contractors that are doing the innovation.
Right. I don't get it.
But it's also like why is Hunter arguing in a way that makes it seem like he's saying that black people and gay people aren't allowed to join the military? Like they provably are allowed to join the military. And John Doyle might not like that, but he actually hasn't really argued as much against that. He hasn't said these people should not be allowed to join the military.
What is John even saying then? That's what it seemed like to me.
I don't know. I don't know what either of them are saying. Hunter isn't even like debating on the topic, and John Doyle is just like dominating the whole conversation and saying groupthink is good, which I guess we'll hear more about that. I mean, I don't generally agree that groupthink is good, but when it comes to the military, where people's especially when you're in combat rules, your job is to follow orders. Like your job is not to question anything. Your job is not to develop anything new. Your job is literally to follow orders. That's what it is. And so in that case, John Doyle might actually, well, I wouldn't say that groupthink is correct, but like a submissive personality might be actually beneficial, like someone who doesn't want to come in and lead in the situation because they're not in leadership roles.
Right. They're just carrying out orders.
God, I fucking hate that I agree with him. I can't. Why did you do this to me, Alex?
I'm sorry.
Why do you hate me?
I did it for the read. I had to.
Oh, God.
You need to tell me then, how come we have found not one, not two, but multiple different studies that have all shown that when there is more diversity, the companies innovate at faster rates?
That's not the
Can you please
military.
answer why that is the case?
Yeah, I do want to address the one study that you cited in particular, the murder mystery study, which you said was proof that diversity is good. On the surface, it's like murder mystery being equivalent to warfare. Okay. But you have to look at the difference between the two. I mean, you have something like a murder mystery, right? That's like a social deduction scenario. You have a finite pool from which to draw, and then maybe you can find who did it, so to speak.
And diversity
versus like
can help
literal,
that.
open, modern warfare. Right.
Wait,
so
the study that Hunter was citing was a study at who was best at winning murder mysteries?
Oh my God.
Is that what I'm hearing? Hunter cited a murder fucking mystery study and tried to apply it to the military? Hunter, it's not the same thing. This is why these debate bro idiots actually need to read the studies that they are citing. Like a murder mystery study that was probably, by the way, Hunter, if I'm going to guess, was probably executed with college students as the participants who were not in the military. There was no inclusion criteria that included members of the military. There was no applicability, and I didn't even read the study. I already know what the how to poke holes in it. It was not. There were no military members included, which means it can't be broadly generalizable to the military, and it certainly can't be broadly generalizable to combat situations within the military. That's not it's not a valid use.
And the sad thing is, with my little bachelor's in psychology, I know what you're saying is right. We learned this. He should have learned this if he went to college, even as a bachelor's.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if Hunter went to college, but John alluded to that he did. So it's weird. Bad. Yeah. I mean, this is just bad. Like, don't bring up the study then. You know?
Or if you're going to bring up the study, you have to say, like, and this is something that people who write the studies actually do have to put in the studies. You have to say, what is this applicable to? Who is this applicable to? In what situations is this applicable? And I'm sorry, a murder mystery study is not applicable to military combat. Those are two different things. Richie says, we need a Sassy Saturday opening theme song. I agree. We need to get an opening theme song. We need to do a better countdown for when we're starting. We need to get a whole clip reel. We're going to work very diligently and hard on solving this problem. I promise you guys. I don't know when we're going to do it, but we're going to do it. Little K says most military positions aren't combat roles, though. And they actually have acknowledged that. They said that like about 10% of the military are combat roles, which is like another fair point. And then, oh, we've updated our name, Murphy's Pool, Insane Ass Clown Posse. If you like seeing Hunter get wrecked, check out when he was on Timcast. The kid showed up completely unprepared. I do remember that, and I was actually I was like sympathetic to Hunter at the time. I remember even messaging him being like, dude, I'm sorry that didn't go the way you wanted it to. I was like trying to be a friend, and he's an ass clown that, took advantage. So he gets what he gets.
Familiar with in terms of the literature.
It's not all modern warfare.
I know you have low impulse control, but you just have to stop, okay? You want to go back and forth, and we have to go back and forth. So in terms of the literature that I think alludes to some of this, like corporate diversity being good, military diversity being good, oftentimes what they find is exactly that perspective thing that you're talking about, where if you have a more diverse group of people, then they're better able to assess situations critically. Right. That's the problem. Because all of the literature that's supporting that claim, you have to be careful with what that is implicating, because they're not saying that they're actually better at producing the correct outcomes for situations.
No.
Literally what they are saying is they are better at critical thinking. Why is that? That is because when you have more people from different backgrounds, they're more likely to disagree on
here's what I'm going to do for this. Here's what I'm going to do. I might put it at the start of the clip reel, but I'm going to bleep it. I'll be like, beep.
Look, it was nice to go back in time for a second.
I seriously cannot believe that came out of my mouth. I don't know where that came
from. You guys. It was before the COVID times. It was before any of this. It was before that CW.
Oh God. Okay. Alex, I've already finished my first beer because it's so fucking hot out that I just downed the whole thing. It was cold. So this is going to go real well.
Which they define positively as critical thinking. I would disagree with that because, again, I want to get back to the Europe versus Africa thing, because you said that the reason Africa didn't have a competent military or innovation, so to speak, was because of European oppression.
I didn't say Africa. No, that's not what I said. I was just making a broad point about the European thing. Okay. But hold on, what you just said as far as they have... Well, hold on, wait. I just want to respond to what you said really quickly, because you didn't answer my question either. But first of all, when you have people, you just admitted it, that when you have people, you have a lot of different ideas. You have a finite pool of information to pull from. And that is a benefit of diversity. Second of all, the study that I just referenced to you was not actually the murder mystery one. I was bringing up a study which looked at different banks, and they found that innovation-focused banks increased in racial diversity.
Banks
that was
are also not the military.
Enhanced financial performance. So when you say they're not looking at the outcome, they are looking at the outcomes. The outcomes are specifically benefiting by having more diversity. And this isn't just in private firms where this has been discovered. Even the military itself has found that when women are involved in complex problem solving, they solve problems at faster rates than groups that are just made up of men.
That's not going to apply to combat roles. That is not going to apply to combat roles. I know exactly what study Hunter is talking about. That is not going to apply to combat roles. That is going to apply to I don't know the specific study, but I know generally the thing that he's talking about. So women have a slightly higher disposition to have very specific work styles, and those work styles tend to be better at problem solving. And it's not even a big difference. It is a slightly higher disposition to certain work styles that are significantly better at problem solving. But the problem-solving techniques that women use in those scenarios are not going to apply at all in any way to combat roles in the military. It is not an apples-to-apples comparison. And in the same token, like comparing work done in a bank, which is work done with a suit on behind a desk with a computer
In
is
a
not
peaceful
also the
space,
same thing
yeah.
as like a combat role in the military. We're talking about two completely different professions.
Right, which I don't understand how they're not seeing, like neither one of them is seeing that. It's bizarre. But and why isn't John saying that? It would be such an easy own.
Well, John doesn't probably know that either. Like, I mean,
Right.
I don't think like this is like my actual profession, so I don't think either of them really know what they're talking about. But yeah, Sin says problem solving is used in maintenance, not combat. That's exactly right. It's going to be used in roles where you have a little bit more time. You can
Oh
be more
God.
thoughtful
Here we
about
go.
things. Oh, Hunter's here. Hunter, do you are you excited that we're streaming about you and calling you a little bitch because you're totally being owned by John Doyle? John Doyle is dominating you so badly, and it's really sad and
yeah.
pathetic. It's really pathetic, Hunter. You really need to give up that vegan diet. Like, it's not
Please
serving you
do.
well, dude. It's not.
It's not.
My dude. It's not serving you well. The vegan diet needs to go.
Your reaction times are really bad.
They
I'm just
really
gonna be
are.
honest.
And Hunter, the pathetic complaining about how John Doyle isn't letting you talk when you are making no tangible points of your own, it's just not serving you well, dude. It's not a good look. I'm so excited that Hunter's here. I'm not even going to block him. Hunter, you can say whatever you want in the chat. And Hunter, if you chat in, I will display it on the screen and we will respond to you.
For example. So what's wrong with this? Why don't we want our military to be strong and efficient?
I would be curious to see the sample size from that one pertaining to women, because men are more rational than women. And
This is
so
a lie.
I would imagine it's not
That's
a lie.
Yeah, it is.
It's absolutely not a lie.
No, it's a lie.
And there's even studies supporting that too.
Okay, again, I have to say, fucking hell, John Doyle is actually right about this. But it's a very slight. It is slight. It is not significant. It is not a statistically significant difference, but it is a slight difference that men do default more to rational problem solving techniques. But the reason that women are better at problem solving in some scenarios is because they are looking at problems in a more holistic way. So even though they're not always defaulting to rational techniques, that makes it still they're better problem solvers because problems are not always about defaulting to rational techniques.
Yeah, I mean, they're different.
No, Hunter, I don't want to talk to you. As we have previously established, I just don't see any point, because anytime someone's beating you in a debate, you take your toys and go home like a little bitch. And so this is how we're going to do this, is Alex and I are going to talk, and we're going to talk about this debate, and we're going to talk about how John Doyle is making you his bitch, and you can sit in the chat and watch and cry all you want, and it's not going to get you on the stream, dude. I'm sorry. I'm going to make a clip and be like, Hunter Avallone invades my chat.
Oh my God. Just make sure you get the thumbnail in.
Oh, I'm going to do that little roast thumbnail. Be like,
oh my God.
There isn't. There's studies reporting the complete opposite, but I know that you kind of have to just make up stuff. But okay, go ahead. What were you saying?
Well, anyways, so it's like if you take a sample size of high IQ women and compare them to average IQ men, they're going to be better at solving those problems. But if I took 100 women off the street and 100 men off the street, I mean, you would be delusional to suggest that the women would be better at solving the problems than the men.
It depends on what the problem is.
No, not at all.
And so
it's not true.
In terms of the social production, it is true, dude. Like,
it's not true.
I don't know if you're lying. I don't know, like what.
It depends entirely on what the problem is. In generic problem-solving exercises, women are generally going to be slightly, not even statistically significantly, but slightly better than men. But it entirely depends on what the problem is. There are some problems that a random sample of 100 men are going to be better at solving, and there are some problems that a random sample of 100 women are going to be better at solving, and it really just depends.
A lot of nuance, which that is one of the things I don't like about John, is there's zero nuance in his mind about anything ever.
Well, exactly. And Hunter says, Carlin is afraid to even speak with me. No, Hunter, I'm not afraid to speak with you. The problem is that you aren't actually even engaging in a debate, in this debate with John Doyle. You're just whining and complaining about how much John is talking and how many points he's making and about the rules. You're not even engaging with the content of what he's saying. And so if you're not engaging in the content of what he's saying in this debate, then why would
Yeah.
I think that talking to you would even be worth my time at all? You're not engaging in a conversation. You're just whining. And then Insane Axe Clown Posse says, as an infantry marine in the 80s, sexuality was irrelevant to the job. Meat gazers in the shower tended to be jealous straight guys. I'll take your word for it.
Oh my God.
Oh, Alex, do you want to talk? Do you want to go on Hunter's stream?
About what?
You should. Alex, you should go talk to Hunter. You should go on his stream.
Okay, well, I'm very different from Carlin, but I would have to be what it's about. You know what I mean?
Hunter, you should DM Alex and get him on your stream. I would love to see it. I think it would be great.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on what it's about.
Alex, you should do it.
If it's about how awful John Doyle is, then I'm down. No, I'm just kidding. But no, but just I don't know. Sure.
Hunter, propose a topic in the chat, and we will ask Alex live on the internet if he will be willing to grace you with his presence on your
my
stream.
God. Oh, Carlin.
Look at this, Alex. Like we're gonna open up a whole new audience for you.
I don't know if that'll be a good thing, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's probably not a good idea. You know.
I would do it. I mean, I'm not afraid or anything. I just don't know what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm gonna put a poll in the chat and ask people if they want Alex to go on Hunter's stream. We're gonna let the chat decide, Hunter. You don't get a role in this. Should Alex go on Hunter's stream? Yes. No, actually, no. We're gonna change it to obviously no way. We're gonna change it up. Okay, polls in the chat. Polls in the chat.
I don't know. I haven't watched Hunter in a long time.
Oh, Hunter. Alex, clearly you are simping for all the dumb shit Carlin is saying. So whatever it is, disagree with me on.
I don't know. I don't think you're doing well in this debate, but like John is not that hard to argue. I mean, I don't know. With John, you just have to like shout over him and just say like, this is bullshit, basically.
That's exactly right. Hunter, literally all you had to do was out-dominate John. The problem is that John is dominating you, dude. It's not even like, I don't even care about what the content of what John is saying. Energetically, he is completely owning you. He is bending you over and making you his bitch in this debate. That is where the problem started at the very beginning, when you almost cried when he came on the stream, and it has gone downhill ever since.
We can start with that. I mean, I don't know. I'm a conservative. I know you have huge issues with that, but I don't know. I don't know what you'd want to debate on.
Hunter, you can beg me to stop all you want, but you're not going to be successful. I'm sorry. It's just like you can beg and plead with me to stop pointing out that you're John Doyle's bitch, but no, it's not going to happen. No. Denied. No. Emphasize says, why do you get to choose how woke you want to be while telling me how woke I have to be? Example, you can deny CRT, which is by default racist, while promoting the trans agenda, choosing which YouTube rules to break. I don't think I'm promoting the trans agenda, so I have to disagree with you, Emphasize. But thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. You know what, Hunter, this is a good question. Insane Ass Clown Posse has a question for you, since we've just learned that you're a vegan. Can you please answer this question for us in the chat? I'm just saying.
Oh my God. Stop.
This is what Sassy Saturday is all about.
I know, it's fun.
Kind of bubble you live in to actually believe this. It reminds me of the Trump tweet. Like, is this even possible to believe?
You haven't provided any evidence. You're just saying, like, obviously this is the case. I have evidence after evidence after evidence that shows that the Marine Corps, for example, found that including women.
Hunter, Alex's Twitter is literally in the description of the video you are chatting on. It is not hard to find. Go find his Twitter.
Resulted in just as good, if not better, cognitive performance with these challenging problems. I have information showing that when women are involved in high firm companies, they perform better the more diversity is implemented in those companies. This is a clear evidence that women are not less rational than men. You're going to have some women that are less rational than men. You're also going to have some men that are less rational than women. They have done studies where they presented men and women with complex moral problems. And at the end of the day, men and women were just as rational. This is just
the workplace is not about solving complex moral problems. So any studies about complex moral problems do not apply in a situation in which you were talking about the military.
Oh my God.
Hunter, this doesn't even make sense. It's harder to find your father than Alex's Twitter.
Oh God.
I would hope so, Hunter, because my father is somewhere in Maryland and Alex's Twitter URL is literally in the description of the video you're chatting on. So I would indeed hope that it would be harder to find my father than Alex's Twitter.
Did you put it in the description? I mean, I feel like we're being gaslit.
It is literally. Can someone in the chat please point Hunter to what Alex's Twitter is? It is at graphically Alex. This is not hard.
Oh no, it's not in the.
Alex, Hunter, do you think? Oh, I didn't. I thought I did.
Didn't. You put my Instagram.
Oh well, you're the same on all of them. Hunter, do you really think this is an insult? Do you like my father is still out getting cigarettes? He probably is. Yes, that's true. My father is probably out of it somewhere in a house in Maryland. That is very true. Do you think that's an own? Congratulations. Like, that doesn't even make sense. Hunter, are you drunk? Are you drunk chatting right now? Like, you think this is an insult? You think you're owning me? Dude, you've been clowning yourself.
He's trying to say you have daddy issues, but...
I know what he's trying to say, but it's really not weird. Coming out in any way that's cohesive.
Yeah, it's bizarre. It's very much his latent conservatism. That's something a conservative probably would have said. So it's still in you, Hunter. It's still in there.
Well, let's see. We have to go to the poll in the chat. And should Hunter go, or should Alex go on Hunter's stream? 80%, obviously.
Okay.
So Alex, you have to do it. The chat is spoken.
I'm down. I don't know how it's gonna go, but okay.
Just don't. We'll do a whole prep, Alex.
Oh my God.
We're gonna do a prep.
Like, just dominate the discussion. Everything.
Just you need to embrace your inner top to go on Hunter's stream.
Okay,
you need to dominate. You need to dominate the shit out of him. You need to channel me for this stream, Alex.
Oh my God. I have a different style than you, ma'am.
I'm going to meta stream. You going on?
Oh no. Oh God. It's gonna be weird. I mean, I'm down now. Whatever.
Hunter, I dominated you like a little bitch last time I was on your stream, which is why you kicked me off and then pretended that I quit. But no, dude, you kicked me off and you know it and I know it. And so, no, I don't go back on the stream of people who are just whiny little children that take their toys and go home. It is a colossal waste of my time, but I will absolutely coach Alex on how to dominate you like the soy boy vegan that you are.
Oh God. Please stop being vegan, Hunter. Please. Just have
Alex, here, you need to eat a steak tomorrow. You need to eat like a big manly like meal with like steak and bacon and like potatoes and like whatever else men eat to feel their most masculine.
Oh my God. Look, I am not mask. It just isn't what it isn't, but I'm not scared. You know what I mean?
You shouldn't be.
I'll go. I mean, I don't care.
This is like opposition research. We're doing the opposition research right now.
What does that mean?
It's like we're watching the enemy and we're critiquing the enemy. And he really sucks, so it's not even that hard. All right.
Oh my God.
Yeah. You need to go to Texas Roadhouse. You need to get
I don't know. The thing is like I can't stand I would debate the vegan issue, but it's just gonna be this study says this and this study says that. And it's just gonna be like over and over. And the studies are not good because they don't take in long-term effects. They don't take, they don't do these studies for years and years. So it's just kind of pointless. It would be like what? We're gonna debate the morality of it. that would be dumb too. An animal is not a human being. Okay, over. It's like, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what we're going to talk about, but okay.
This is gonna be a growth exercise for you, Alex.
Oh my God.
It's gonna
The
be great.
fact that Carlin's going to meta stream it. I'm gonna be like, oh God. the whole time.
I don't actually know that I'm gonna do that. It's 4th of July. I might have other plans. I might be drinking a beer on a beach somewhere. So you might get away with it. You're streaming on the 4th of July, Hunter. Why are you so unpatriotic? Why are you streaming on the 4th of July? Why aren't you going to a parade or something?
I don't know if I can. I think I'm busy, actually.
We'll figure it out. Emphasize says, I eat raw hamburger meat. Emphasize that doesn't surprise me at all. It really doesn't, but I still appreciate you, Emphasize. I do.
This is just a lie that you're saying right now.
No, it's not. There's a really good book that I don't think you'll read, but if anyone's interested, it's called The Rationality Quotient, and it's, how to quantify actually thinking rationally. And they found I think a 0.67 or 0.68 advantage in terms of rational thinking for men. So again, I don't even think this is worth addressing. But again, what you're arguing, I'm frankly much less concerned about all of the studies and things like that. I'm talking about what we know about world history. What you are arguing is that all of the conquests of, for example, the Roman Empire would have been better if you would have had more women involved or more gay people involved or things like that. And this is why I know.
Well, there were a lot of gay people in Rome.
Afraid of this comparison. But when you're talking about Africa was at a disadvantage versus Europe, well, why then was?
I mean, Alexander the Great was he had tendencies into that area. He did, John. Alexander the Great was not straight.
And that's the thing. Apparently, John Doyle has a fucking 100% gaydar. He can just look at somebody and instantly know. I'm sorry, John, but masculine gay men do exist. You have no clue half the time. Well, not half the time, but unless if maybe they're doing you from behind, then maybe he does know then. But that would be a different context for sure.
Colonize Africa. If we were really at a level playing field, they have more natural resources than Europe. Why weren't they able to man the defenses? I understand that, but listen to what I'm saying. I'm saying that innovation is more likely to come from European men, as evidenced by literally 95% of all of it. You're saying no. I'm saying, okay, well, if that's not the case, why was Africa not able to defend itself from European colonization?
These are completely unrelated. The European colonization had everything to do with advanced levels of technology, even different climates.
Where did that come from?
Hold on. Even different climates had an effect there. This idea of, well, Africa couldn't defend itself, therefore minorities are not good for innovation is irrelevant. This is one of the weakest arguments I've ever heard. We need to combine and look at how diversity interacts with the military and in actual companies, because that's how the military is. You keep saying, well, what about the fighting field?
I agree with that. The military is a company. Get that.
Well, no. It's not just the company, but it's a group where there is a large amount of people that are all working towards a common goal. And if you want to talk about, if you actually want to talk about world history, I mean, you can look at historical examples. Since the 1800s, for example, armies with high rates of inequality have done poorly, according to all kinds of measures. One statistical analysis focused on armies with high rates of inequality, and that they found that increased the odds by 50% that an army will suffer more casualties than it inflicts on the other side. So that's some world history for you right there. When you are discriminatory, or when you don't properly include minorities into your group, you lack positive outcomes.
Again, I have to say, do we live in a reality in which Black people and gay people are not allowed to join the military?
Yeah, I'm not understanding the point.
They're allowed to join the military. They've been in the military for a really long time. This is like the military does not have a diversity problem. They don't.
No, it doesn't. I don't understand what the point of this is.
I don't either. It's really confusing to me. Boomher says, veganism kills brain cells and turns men into mallets who are easily dominated. I think we are seeing that play out in
definitely in
real time.
Definitely.
And Sam says prosperity is correlated with navigable rivers and oceans. Yeah, I mean that's a whole other thing too. It's like a lot of these studies they're just like they're not applicable to the situations that they're talking about, or there are other extemporaneous factors.
The other thing too, though, is that there are different points in history when different parts of the world were more advanced than others. I mean, what was Europe doing with Babylon times, right? It's like there have been different time periods where different, the Aztecs, for example, they were pretty advanced for that time period. It's like things shift all the time. It's like the slavery argument. Every group has enslaved every other group throughout history. So it's just kind of like a bunch of bullshit, and it's a virtue signal for Hunter. And it's a big attention grab, cringe moment for John. And then Hunter is just putting it on there to make money, grift. This is just a waste of time. It really is.
I agree. And then AD says, Carlin, vitamin B12 debunks veganism. I think you're right about that, AD.
Weaken the military. You weaken the morale. And again, I don't know why you keep going back to this Africa thing. At the end of the day, we have multiple different studies that have shown that when women and Black people and minorities are included in these firms, they do better. You're just denying this. You're just denying it right now.
Okay, I have another question. Help me understand. If we know that if you have a group of say 50 bland vanilla white men and you throw in the Black people and women, you're saying that that'll help that company do better, that military operation do better, then why then
I'm not
Mason. The most Black people or the most any sort of why then are they not doing as well as where we see the most groups of
maybe slightly dumb, but not masked.
No, are you sure?
I'm sure. If I was, I don't know if this is the image I would put out there, but probably it would be an interesting choice.
So that. Yeah, the answer to that is not that, oh, just because they're Black, they somehow have a better idea, lol. What you're doing is stripping this of all nuance, and you're looking at this in one of the most delusionally reductionist ways imaginable. What it is not only diversity, it's how you properly implement that diversity. Obviously, just having a large group of Black people is not going to necessarily lead to any better or worse outcome than having a large group of uneducated white people or something. That's not the key here. The key is that when you have a business or a company or something like the military, and they all have a common goal,
it's not like the military.
Implementing diversity in the proper way, mind you, leads to more innovation because you're pulling from a larger pool of information.
Not that type of diversity. Not that type of diversity, Hunter.
Right.
If there's any type of diversity that leads to enhanced outcomes, it is diversity of approach. It has nothing to do with skin color. It has nothing to do with gender. It has nothing to do with sexual orientation. It has to do with diversity of approach.
I mean, it's almost as if Hunter's sitting here saying that depending on if somebody is gay or straight or Black or white or a man or a woman, they're going to flip a burger at McDonald's differently. I mean, come on. This is just, it's ingenuous or incredibly dumb. And whichever way you want to go, Hunter, it's like stupid. You're talking about within the context of a work environment. Work environments are very different than your personal life. It's different than writing a book or something, right? It's just different.
Hunter has never had a real job. Well, Hunter doesn't have a real job, so that's why he doesn't understand this. He's never had a real job.
Maybe, because I have. I've had many a real job, and I can tell you there are certain things between men and women. That's true, especially when you're working in a physical work environment. I will say that, like, women are not as strong. That's just a fact. So there are different factors where I've worked in physical environments where women struggled with certain things that men could do much easier. And also, men don't like talking to customers as much. So there's been many times that they have sent a woman to go deal with somebody who's upset. It's like there are certain differences there. But as far as racially and certainly sexuality, there is no difference. You're flipping the damn burger. It's like, come on. And this is just virtue signaling crap. It's just virtue signaling. It's stupid.
Yep, I agree.
There is more experience behind that. And then, like I've already demonstrated, that leads to higher rates of innovation. This benefits the military immensely. Like, I want to see the military get stronger. I want our country to be kept safe. And that's what the military does. And so it only makes sense to have a larger pool to gauge information from. That was your argument at the beginning of this.
Right. So again, it's like even in recent history, our military hasn't been able to do really anything quite effectively. I mean, we got embarrassed in Afghanistan. We were embarrassed in all of our campaigns in the Middle East. And now it's like I really kind of want you to just think about like what you're saying to me, which is that, you know, if we are,
Okay, can you pause it? I'm
what
sorry.
experience do you
Yes.
think? If you
So John then takes a dumb point. They do this. They're both like throwing back and forth idiotic points that are dumb. And then they come up with an even dumber point when it's like, dude, the Afghanistan thing, you want to show, John, that was Joe Biden's leadership. That was that whole situation. That is something you can definitely make an attack on the Democratic Party. You can make an attack on how, you know, the strategy of it, how it was delayed, how they did this, they did that, if you want to go there. But people in the military, they were just following orders. It has nothing to do with somebody's skin color or whatever. They were following orders. And maybe there are horrible people within the military that are in leadership in the military that are awful. But that is a different argument. It has nothing to do with skin color, John. That is insane. I mean, what is he doing? What are both of them doing? Literally, that's what I'm wondering. Like, this is turning into a, what even is this? Are you trying to promote something? Or it's like when two grifters combine, you know, what are they even doing? Is it just a shit show for money? That's what I'm starting to think.
Yes, it is just a shit show for money. That is all that it is. That is
It's
all
crazy.
debate bro culture on the internet is. It is ridiculous. Nat D says, I'm waiting for both of them to make out. Well, I mean, if you look at this freeze frame right here, Hunter does appear to be longingly looking at John Doyle.
Oh my God.
Pining after him, if you will.
Had to guess, maybe there's not a study, if you just had to guess, what experience do you think the average black guy has in terms of dealing with high-level military operations, small unit tactics, that the average white guy just like doesn't have? Like, what is that experience that you think he could really bring to the table there?
I don't think that anybody, white, black, gay, straight, women, whatever, have like some intrinsic understanding of the military. They would be trained.
Well, then why would you need them for military diversity
because
to make it better? That's the essence of your argument.
Okay,
No,
can I just talk about a pet peeve? Why do people with glasses get these circle lights that show up in their glasses? It annoys the shit out of me. It's like I have a light that is not being reflected in my glasses.
I have that too sometimes, but I try to turn it away from myself.
Well, right, like, and Joshua does the same thing. I know Joshua has, like, the circle light thing, and occasionally I get, like, a reflect, but, like, Hunter is basically having circle light in his glasses this entire time, and, like, YouTubers do this all the time. Like, if you have glasses, don't get the weird circle light. There are all sorts of tricks you can do in terms of, like, I've got a light that's, like, bouncing off a fucking umbrella, so it's, like, soft lighting on me, but it's not reflecting in my glasses at all.
Yeah, I just use the wall. I'm not as fancy, but...
Wow.
Thinking that my argument is like, just take a random woman off the street and plop her in the military, therefore military gets better. That is not what I'm saying.
According to your argument, that would increase.
And now he's pivoting.
No, my argument is that my argument,
but I wasn't saying that. It's like, yes, you were.
Yes, he very obviously was.
It's the guy. Now he's gaslighting, which is like, you don't have to gaslight John to own John.
This is good training for you when you go on Hunter's stream, because Hunter's this is like now opposition research. There is no useful content that's going to occur in this debate at all. We're going to do opposition research. Like, you have to know that when you go on Hunter's stream, he is going to be in a perpetual state of gaslighting. That is what he does. That is all he knows how to do, and you have to be prepared for this, Alex.
It's typical leftism. It's like, yeah, it sounds great to vote for Joe Biden. If you lie about him, then yeah, sure. I mean, that's how you got people to vote for him. You lied. But the truth comes out and, oh shit, where are we now? Is he going to tell me about how great the jobs are? I mean, come on, dude. It's just crazy.
Wouldn't it be funny if he said that before the end of the debate? If he says that, everyone has to drink.
The thing is it's like, I don't understand. I mean, he's just doing the typical Democrat thing, which, as if I hadn't had experience with it. You know what I mean? please.
I just
It's
wanted
so
to be.
stupid.
Oh, sorry. Hang on.
Oh, no.
Emphasize says send BIPOC lesbian birthing persons to fight in wars. A quadruple virtue signal will win a war. I mean, that's an interesting theory. Oh, I heard about it. I heard about it, and he is full of shit as always. But whatever. We're focusing on other people who are full of shit right now, not I, hypocrite, who is the most aptly named person on the internet. But oh fuck, what was I just gonna say? I lost it. What was I just gonna say, Alex?
You were gonna say that I was right.
If it's important, it will come back to me.
Brain, obviously, to get somebody in the military, they're going to have to train to be in the military. Obviously. I'm not talking about
Which
just
86% of women fail.
I'm not talking about just grabbing random people and then saying, oh, look, they're black, they must have better ideas. It's that, again, I've said this now 5 times, when you take a large group of people of different identities and they're all focused on a common goal, after all going through the same training, mind you, to get to where they are in the military or going through the same process to be hired in a hypothetical firm, then you will see higher rates of innovation. I'm not saying that some black person just has an intrinsic understanding of the military, but guess what? Neither do any white guys, okay? They all go through a proper training. And then once they do, when they're all put in a group where they have to have a common outcome or a common goal, we see the diversity and the different experiences and different backgrounds lead to less groupthink and more innovation. And also, one more thing I really want to quickly address. You said like, oh, we haven't really seen our military do anything recently, yada, yada, yada. I mean, you might be right. I don't know. You might be wrong. But at the end of the day, if you want to look at all of the different innovation that was contributed to our military during, say, World War II, for example, there was a multitude of benefits that were brought to our military from minority groups, whether they were black, women, or gay. So I don't think that you can.
Hunter is arguing that there were a lot of women in combat roles in the military in World War II.
It's bizarre.
No, that's not true at all. Women in combat roles are a very recent development. They were not in combat roles in World War II. That is not correct.
When the thing is, like, I just don't understand where this conversation even came from. Like, that's what's so weird to me. I mean, I guess we haven't watched it in context of the stream, but it's just bizarre. And now, you know, Hunter is divorcing completely from reality now. We're going into the Twilight Zone, weird place, like, must be an interesting world to live in.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
and then watch. John is not going to call that out, and he better call it out. If he doesn't, then he's going to make an even dumber point. They keep racing for the bottom.
I agree with you. I hope John does call it out. I just want to make the point that Jennifer is saying nurses were in combat situations. That's true, but women have not been in combat roles in the military until very recently. And so any insinuation that women like were involved in winning World War II, I mean, I guess maybe on a periphery, but not in combat roles. That's not, and it seems to me that that's actually what John Doyle is talking about, is people who are actually going and fighting in combat roles.
Right.
AD says the military was segregated during World War III. Well, that's an interesting... during World War II, but I mean, it might be segregated during World War III as well. I mean, we have, you know, it's actually like a little prophetic there, I think. And Sam says, we got a huge technology boost from ex-Nazis. Isn't that ironic?
We also got a lot of leftists, too, from them. Fun times.
Fun times. Oh, here's what I wanted to say, Alex. So I just wanted to say, as I said at the beginning of the stream, it will probably take Alex and I 2.5 hours to get through a 33-minute stream. We are 2 hours and 8 minutes into the stream. And I think we started.
We didn't stop it for every word. I have to give us that.
We didn't actually technically start streaming until like 40 minutes into the stream.
That's
we didn't
true.
start watching the content, so we still have a little bit of leeway. But you know, we could conceivably, if we get to the 3-hour mark and we're still talking about this, and we only have 10 minutes left of this stream.
Oh my god!
Necessarily, just say that they must not have an understanding, or they must have the understanding. It's
What were
obviously a
some of those
common
I
goal.
mean, you say multitudes. There's so many examples. Give me one from World War II.
Sure. So Alan Turing, he was a crypto analyst for the British government during World War II. He was also a gay man. His code break.
That had nothing to do with him being a freaking code breaker and a computer scientist.
No, it didn't.
Are you shitting me, Hunter? Are you shitting me? You're saying the reason that Alan Turing was a genius is because he was gay? Alan Turing was a genius regardless of who he was stooping. It doesn't matter. Alan Turing being able to break the unbreakable Nazi code, which, by the way, Hunter probably didn't even know about until he saw the movie about it. I bet you, I bet you anything that Hunter had no idea about this until he actually saw the effing movie about it. That had nothing to do with him being gay. It had to do with him being a genius and very autistic. That's what it had to do with.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like, look, it doesn't matter. Like older generations, which I will age me and Carlin, but we understood that it doesn't matter what color you are, what's between your legs, who you want to fall in love with. I'm not going to use John Doyle's nasty language. Who you fall in love with, those things don't matter. What matters is who you are, your actual talents and skills, how hardworking you are, etc. All of us previous generations understood this.
Mm-hmm.
You don't understand it. It is crazy. I'm going to plug in my computer. I forgot
All
to
right.
plug it in.
That's all right. We got a couple of super chats. Emphasize says a Fura. I don't know what that means. It's emphasized, but thank you for the super chat. And then Multi Drider says the Soviet side had women in combat roles, but no, a large amount, including plenty of women snipers. Isn't that interesting? So the Soviets had women in combat roles. How did that serve them? You know, I'm not saying that women shouldn't be in combat roles. I don't really care. It's not my monkeys, not my circus. But to say that, like, it's just factually wrong to say that the United States military had women in combat roles in World War II. Is that on fire? We'll go with that, Sam. Thank you.
Breaking skills played a pivotal role in intercepting coded German messages. I can give you another one. The multiplex telegram was used in World War II, was invented by a black man named Granville T. Woods. He also invented the first prototype of the gas mask. If you want another one, Heidi Lamar, she's a woman. She invented the frequency hopping communication system, which now gives us Wi-Fi, GPS, and Bluetooth. These are all things that have benefited the military, that were brought to the military from diversity. So you need to tell me, why are you in favor of weakening the military just because you don't want there to be diversity? Can you
wait? Hang on. Is this true? Hunter is not non-binary. That's not true. No, that's not true. This can't be true. Please tell me this is a lie.
I hope it is.
Please tell me this is a lie. Hunter, no, I'm being serious. Someone needs to tell me this. Nat D, are you like making a joke? Are you making a funny? Hunter Avallone has not come out as non-binary, has he? Please tell me that is a lie. Alex, you're going to have to use they, them pronouns when you go on a Hunter stream on Monday.
We could debate about that, I guess, but that's not going to go over very well.
Nat D is claiming this is true. Can someone please confirm, is Hunter Avallone now saying he's non-binary? I kind of, like, part of me wants this to be true, and part of me really does not want this to be true, and I can't decide which is going to win.
I don't know.
Wait, no! Is it true? Hang on. I need to find Hunter Avallone's Twitter account right now. What the fuck? Seriously? This is like a whole... Alex, this is like a whole new thing. This is like a whole new thing. Hunter Ava, whatever the fuck. There he is. That doesn't look like it's actually... No, that's not his. I don't know what Hunter Avallone's Twitter account is.
Oh, I think he DM'd me, so...
Well,
what? See.
Yeah. Check out what his Twitter account is.
I can get the tea. Let's see. No, it says It says the guy you love to hate. So
So
I'm
Hunter
calling
Avallone
BS.
3. Is this like a new Twitter account or something? Because this account hasn't tweeted in like a while. Oh God. Please someone tell me that Hunter Avallone is saying he's now non-binary. That would like make my year, to be honest. Tom J says, I'm getting worried that if there is World War III, I might
Nah,
get
I don't think
drafted over
he's
both these
non-binary.
guys almost half my age. That'd probably be ideal, Tom J. I appreciate that.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my God.
He's
don't
not. I don't think he is.
Well,
'Cause
I mean, obviously he isn't, but that wouldn't stop him from saying he is.
Oh, wow.
You know it wouldn't. Emphasize says, angry cops today, doggy Alfura out an exorcism. Okay. Thank you, Emphasize, for the clarification. Can someone please find out if Hunter Avallone is non-binary? I would really appreciate
His profile says the guy. So
I know,
I'm
but
going with the guy.
but that account hasn't tweeted since 2019.
No, he tagged me on Twitter.
Did he block me? Did Hunter Avallone block me? I may have blocked him.
You probably blocked him, knowing you.
Oh, I blocked him. I blocked him. I did. It's true. I did block him. I did block that little bitch.
Oh my God.
He doesn't have a bio. Okay, we'll look into that later. All right.
Explain that one to me, please.
I'm not even anti-diversity. I just fail to see the logic behind thinking that the less cohesive you make a group, the more likely it is to be able to successfully fulfill a task, which would require it to be cohesive.
I completely agree with you.
Like,
but what you're
jump in
advocating
here
for is a
one
lesser
moment, guys. Sorry.
cohesion.
So we've only got a few minutes left, so I want to, John, you can respond to that and then wrap up your own points here, and then we'll go to Hunter. Yeah, unfortunately, it's a very busy studio. I'd love to have you both back, of course, if we can get an agreement for that.
Yeah, I don't want to end this already, man. We were just getting into a good combo.
Unfortunately,
No, you
we
weren't.
do have another show coming up.
You
here.
really
So
weren't.
Why don't we go to
You
you
really
first?
weren't.
We can give you up to 5 minutes, and then Hunter, we can give you up to 5 minutes as well. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, I guess I would just say that, there's a reason when you're, as you would know, Andrew, there's a reason that when you get into the military, they haze you and they shave your head and they basically tell you that you're disposable. I mean, the whole idea psychologically, and again, only 10% are in combat, the whole idea psychologically is to remove any sort of identity you have and tell you that, like, you are a unit and you're going to maybe die, and like, that's fine. And so this idea that, like, oh, well, this guy happened to like anal sex and that's why he was able to create this piece of technology and that made it better. It's like, don't ask, don't tell. I'm not saying you need to kick people out of the military. I'm just saying that this effort to purposefully have diversity, which is what we have, is a waste of military resources. And diversity in general, I mean, I have yet to see any real evidence. I mean, I'm not familiar with the evidence that Hunter's presented. I'd like him to email it to me. But, the most comprehensive study I think we have on diversity in terms of like ethnicity is, of course, the Putnam study from 2011. Famous social scientist from Harvard, and he found that as you increase ethnic diversity in a community, everything goes down. Political involvement.
Hang on, I got a super chat. Sorry. Emphasize says gender fluid is the thing and very contagious. It is. Well, gender fluidity is contagious among leftists, I find. Nat D says, do a tarot reading to find out if Hunter identifies as non-binary. Joshua won't do it. He refuses to do it. Joshua is a killer of fun and joy. He thinks it's a private matter, and he won't. He refuses. Joshua actually had a stern talking. He gave me a stern talking to like several months ago. He was like, Carlin, I am not doing tarot readings on the private lives of these YouTube people. It is against like psychic ethics or whatever. I'm not doing it. It's creating bad karma.
All right.
It's true. We have to respect Joshua's wishes.
Trust, everything goes down. The only thing that goes up when you increase diversity is the amount of people protesting and the amount of people watching TV. That's it. So I fail to see and I fail to conceptualize how, the great militaries throughout the world would have been better if they simply had more people from different groups or more women or more gay people. That doesn't compute. And, on paper, it sounds like it makes a lot of sense. But when we square that with what we know about how humans behave and interact with each other, I think it really doesn't make sense. And I think that's actually why he relies so heavily on papers and studies and things like that, because he doesn't seem to want to argue just from like his own logic. He wants to, again, play the Pokemon card. I've got my EX card, it's peer reviewed, and it's like, my brother in Christ, you just can't really argue from within, from what you know. So
Charizard cards going for hundreds of thousands of dollars these days. I'd like to implore you guys to watch some Pawn Stars, maybe. Hunter, you got the floor for up to 5 minutes. Say whatever you want. Go right ahead.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and just respond to all the really retarded things that John Doyle just said. So first and foremost, he complained last time in his video about a bunch of sexual assaults happening in the military, and he attributed that to gay people, when in fact, the sexual assault rise in the military is actually a result of hazing. So oftentimes we see sexual assaults at skyrocketing rates because straight men will literally go and sexually abuse other men simply for the sake of hazing. This is a huge problem. You can read about it on army.com if
They're
you don't
not
believe
straight.
it. So very good argument, John. Not sure why you're in favor of more sexual assault. Second of all,
sounds
Putman
really bad.
study. Very funny that you referenced
not-
that one.
okay,
The Putman
to
study
be
was
really clear,
actually the
I'm not suggesting that like gay men go around like sexually like abusing people. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying that if a so-called straight man is sexually like assaulting someone, and that's not good, and I'm not condoning that, it's because he has repressed whatever sexual urges he has, and it's manifesting in a really toxic and unproductive way. And I think if he just admits that he has these certain urges, that's going to be better for him in the long term in terms of finding a healthy way to express those desires. That is my point.
That just was crazy as hell.
What I said was not crazy.
No. Not you. I'm just saying, like, in general, I was like, oh.
Yeah. Well, little Andy, I've tried unbanning Nuclear. I can't find him, and I can't unban him if I can't find it. Like, YouTube makes it really hard to unban people. So Nuclear is just going to have to use one of his 17 alt accounts, and that's just going to be the way it is. And if he hadn't gotten mouthy in the chat, he wouldn't have gotten banned in the first place.
reason that they found that result was not because of diversity. It was rather because there were racist dipshits like you, John, who were angry that black people were there. So because there were racists, that negatively affected the cohesion, not having black people. In fact, there are way better studies which have shown that when you put white and black people together in the same community, white people tend to become less racist because they no longer perceive a threat by people that look different from them. Okay. Second of all, when it comes to the military, minorities fare just as well in the military when the military emphasizes the end goal mission rather than getting hung up on
hang on, I can't hear what you're saying. Hang on, go again. Sorry.
I was saying, I don't know if he's totally leftist. Like, to me, Hunter seems more like just your basic liberal, you know what I mean? But so he might be saying racist in terms of the old definition, but he might not have caught up that that's apparently now different on the left. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that Hunter is a leftist. I'm sorry. I think that Hunter is someone who parrots talking points that he thinks are going to make him money. He doesn't sound like someone on the left to me. He literally sounds like someone who is just parroting talking points that he knows his audience wants to hear, and he's using it to make money. So
you felt like he just has zero opposition?
I really do. I don't feel like he is not speaking leftist is the thing. And I mean, you go to happy hours, right?
You don't have to be a leftist though to be on the left. Like I thought of him as just like a liberal, like a typical Democrat, like a Biden supporter. But he doesn't speak like so and like I pay really close attention to the language of the different groups. So there is really specific language that the Democrats use. There are really specific language that Republicans use. There's really specific language that Libertarians use that is pretty consistent within the group. Hunter does not sound to me like he is on the left in any way, not like a moderate Democrat, not like a far leftist. He doesn't sound to me like he is part of that tribe at all. What do you think he sounds like? I think he sounds like someone that doesn't have a tribe. Okay. Just politically homeless. I don't even think he's politically homeless. I think that he is playing a role. Okay. That's what I think. Okay. I could be wrong. I feel like he is a liberal. That's what I feel like. I feel like he was conservative, but it was very hard right and too far. It was too much. And I think he probably like abused his own self and turned himself into a liberal because that's what hard right, too far conservatives do. They create liberals. So that's probably what he did to himself, you know, or either that or he's just conforming to what his wife believes. Those are the two things that it could be.
I think that that is probably the most likely thing that has happened.
It's possible, but that's what I think. I think it's one of those two things, and she might be a liberal, and so he just copied what she is. That's another possibility.
That might be. He might be parroting what his wife is telling him to say. That is a very distinct possibility.
It's possible.
Mm-hmm.
Longer perceive a threat by people that look different from them. Okay. Second of all, when it comes to the military, minorities fare just as well in the military when the military emphasizes the end goal of the mission rather than getting hung up on unique individual traits. You talk about cohesion. I agree with you. A unit that is not cohesive will not function properly. But you are wrongly attributing this idea that having diversity is somehow going to harm cohesion. That's not true. Cohesion actually benefits when you accept more people because, again, you lower the perceived threat. And
that's not how you create cohesion. Hunter is technically right in that you do not have to have groupthink in order to have cohesion. John Doyle is wrong about that, but Hunter is incorrect on how cohesion in groups is created.
Yeah. Well, I think it's just weird to me because it's his side of things that would be trying to do all the, you know, whatever, I forgot what it's called, but diversity, equity, and inclusion, and these trainings that emphasize differences, which is really a bad strategy. But it's like, I don't know what he's fighting for then, you know? Like you said, it's confusing. I don't know.
He's not fighting for anything, and that's the thing. He is not fighting for anything. He is fighting to be a grifter on YouTube. That's it. And Sam says he was influenced by Vosh, #BadTouch. Yeah, I mean, and Vosh does the same thing. I think Hunter is fighting to have a certain status and make money on YouTube, and that is really all he cares about. But I don't think he's, like, at least, again, like John Doyle, again, I don't agree with John Doyle, but I do think John Doyle at least has some sort of vision for what he wants. It's wrong, but he has something. I don't think Hunter even has that vision of, like, what would the world look like if I was in charge?
Right. Like, again, John definitely has that. John is definitely fighting for something, but I do have my ideas that John could be grifting as well. I think that I don't know, you know, it's hard. I think there's a lot of hypocrisy with people like John. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was, you know, if he was very different than what he puts out there, you know, if he was maybe hypocritical about certain things in his own personal life, like what we call the cokehead conservatives, right? So, or the coke whore conservatives, like they always talk about how moral they should be, but they're doing drugs and they're having orgies and stuff. I feel like John could be very much like that. There could be things he's doing behind the scenes that are very against what he's doing, but he does it for the money or the image. But like you said, it might be more for himself too. Like he wants to be this person that he's acting like he is. Whereas Hunter, there is no goal. It's like aimless.
I mean, it really is. And it's like, you know, I don't think that John Doyle is grifting. I really don't. And I say this only because, like, he's friends with Elijah. They do a lot of stuff together.
I would say
like,
grifting in the sense that he could be very, very hypocritical behind the scenes.
I don't know. I don't know if I mean, maybe you could be right about that, but like, I like, in my interactions with Elijah is who he is. Like, I think
Well,
that
I'm not talking about Elijah.
Oh no,
though.
but I'm gonna make a point. Like, Elijah is like an authentic person. He is who he is, and that's my perception of him anyway. And I generally tend to be right about these things. And Elijah is friends with John Doyle. They do a lot of stuff together, and I have a hard time believing that. And I'm gonna bet you they hang out like in real life too. I'm gonna bet you that like Elijah would have a really hard time doing that much stuff with someone who is just completely inauthentic. And so I do think that there's there with him. But I don't know. I've never spoken to him, because even when I have offered to speak to him, he has not replied.
I think it could also be, though, like, as somebody who has been on the right and who has kept secrets before, sometimes, you know, you keep secrets from your friends too. You know, it could be that as well. Elijah may not know. It could be something John does in his private life, you know, or very private at the late nights, you know, that kind of thing that nobody knows about. And it could be anything. It could even be something like just drinking a lot, right? There's a lot of closet drinkers, right?
Well, John does seem to be longingly looking at Hunter in this. So
I'm
who
just
knows what they're up to?
like, and to me, maybe grifter isn't the right word, but then you just say hypocrite, right? So a hypocrite is different.
I don't even know that I would say hypocrite, though, because like, and the reason I say that is both of them are so young. And so it's like one of those things where like, how old is John Doyle? Like, he can't be more than like 25,
He's
right?
23, I think.
He's 23. He's so young. And so
I don't
it's
know
like,
how old Hunter is, but I think Hunter's probably around 25-ish. If I'm guessing.
That sounds about right for both of them. And I would say, like, if John Doyle is doing things in real life that are like opposed to his image, like, I don't actually think that would be hypocrisy, because he's so young. This is the time where he should be screwing around. To be really honest with you, this is the time that he should be discovering who he is. And to be honest, I would prefer that John Doyle be screwing around, because it's some sense of who he actually is, which is why people should never start a YouTube channel when they are this young, ever, because you are going to change. You will inevitably change.
Right. And the thing is, like, even when Hunter was a right winger, like, his arguments were really bad and it was really stupid and really cringe, even for somebody that I'm on the right, and I would be like, ew, and I wouldn't watch him.
Wait.
So it could possibly have never been him, right? So
yeah.
What happened?
Hang on, breaking news. So we got a couple super chats. We're going to go to Tom J's first, and then we're going to go to Naruto's. John is way ahead of where I was at 21 or whatever. I wish I knew history like him, but he's missing social and personal experiences, straight men. Tom J, I completely agree with you. I actually think, like, John Doyle is, you know, I think a lot of his views are wrong, but I think he is very, very smart for his age. But I want to go to these super chats from Naruto, and we're going to read both of them, because there is some puzzling, quizzical information that is being brought to my attention. Naruto says, I watched some of today's iHypocrite stream you got featured on. He wanted his initial video on you to be interviews with the bullying horde of NPCs, and, wait for it, they told him that you've doxed people and signed people up for porn subscriptions. Oh, have what? I have? Really? I want receipts of where I have signed people up for porn subscriptions. I don't even watch porn. Porn is gross. Why would I sign anyone up for a porn subscription? That makes no sense. I want fucking receipts. And if you idiots are saying this on the internet, I will fucking sue you for defamation. This is like too fucking far. I am done with this bullshit. Excuse me?
I feel like the Horde was saying something like that a while back.
I signed them up for porn subscriptions? If Kieran White got signed up for porn subscriptions, he did it his damn self. He did it his damn self.
Oh, man.
Wow. See, Kieran, this is what happens when you offer to Zoom with random people on the internet and you give them your information. They might sign you up for shit in your inbox. But if you have been signed up for porn subscriptions that offend your fragile sensibilities, even though in one of our very first conversations, you told me about how you were invited to an orgy, like,
oh God.
Oh, he did. Now Alex, did you know that he literally tweeted that I was grooming him? Kieran is 27 fucking years old.
Yeah, he's not a child.
In one of our very first conversations, Kieran told me a story about him being invited to an orgy in Los Angeles. And now he's tweeting that I groomed him, and apparently saying I signed him up for porn subscriptions. That did not happen. That is invented. Wow.
What?
AD, I don't sign anyone up for porn subscriptions. I'm not sure exactly why I what the fuck?
That's so random.
Sounds like
Okay.
someone got caught by their husband and blamed me instead. Yep, that's probably exactly what happened. That's someone got caught
Oh.
doing something that they shouldn't have been doing.
Weird. Very, very weird.
Are you fucking shitting me? I signed them up for porn subscriptions?
That's a new one for sure. How would you sign them up? Like what, with your email or something? With their email?
Naruto, who made that accusation exactly? Was it Kieran? I'm gonna bet you it was Kieran. That kid, the stories that child invents, all to repress, that he wants to fuck me so desperately badly. This is why Kieran is saying I signed him up for porn subscriptions, because he is trying to repress every fucking urge he so obviously has, still obsessing about me even though he hasn't talked about me in 8 months. Alex, did you know that like I've had like significant loves of my life that I have not obsessed over as much as Kieran has obsessed over me?
I would believe it. I mean, I would believe it. I would definitely believe it. I feel like I'm very obsessive, but I've been in love twice and I've been obsessed with who I was in love with. So yeah, if he didn't love you or whatever, then he wouldn't care.
If
I'm
he
gonna be
didn't love
honest.
me, he would go the fuck away and focus on his own life. But no, he is obsessed with me and can't let me go. 8 months, Kieran. We haven't spoken in 8 fucking months. 8 fucking months. And you're on the internet claiming I signed you up for porn subscriptions? Are you fucking serious?
Oh God, that's so weird.
Oh my fucking God.
The question. I don't know. I'm not libertarian, Neil. I don't talk about nap usually. What are your thoughts on that, Carlin?
On the nap? Well, I mean, if Kieran is claiming that I signed him up for porn subscriptions and that's a violation of the nap, that is provably not true. But also, I didn't sign anyone up for porn subscriptions. That didn't happen. If someone got porn in their email, guess what? Spam is a thing. I get porn in random emails all the fucking time because people spam email addresses. Like, what the fuck?
Like, they're accusing you of like getting their bank information and like putting it in a site or what? That doesn't make sense.
I don't know. Okay, Jennifer saying, Kieran, who the fuck did I sign up for porn subscriptions at? Because this definitely sounds like a story that Kieran would create. It really does. Wow.
It's just bizarre.
Whatever. We have 5 minutes left of this fucking video. We're getting through it. Whatever.
Turn, you then get a benefit, which is more innovation. So there have already been studies, for example, that have shown that when people are...
For the record, because apparently he didn't specify, I have signed 0 people up for porn subscriptions.
If
0.
If he didn't specify, then it's very CNN. It's very we heard
anonymous
whispers.
sources. Anonymous sources.
Yeah, we heard whispers of something.
Do you know where this is coming from? So these people project all the time, like every single thing that they have done to me, they say I do to them. And so that poetry painter bitch, a Christian, she signed me up for all of these like weird old lady Christian mailing lists. Like all of a sudden one day she was like mouthing off on Twitter and I started getting like all of this like old lady Christian mail from like stores from the mall, like Talbots and like, like all the like obviously like old lady clothes and like all of this like old lady Christian stuff. I was like, you fucking cunt. Like it was obviously her that signed me up for all this. So I'm gonna bet it came from her because she's just projecting what she has done to me, except she's trying to make it seem worse. So if you guys got yourself on some porn list, like that's not my fault. Like go cry into your fucking pillow. But I didn't do anything to get anyone on a porn list. My God.
Ever. That is such a weird. Like, what do they even mean? Like an OnlyFans account or what? Like, what even is that?
I don't know. I don't know.
Whatever.
Whatever.
hung up on gender identity or sexual orientation. They actually destabilize their military rather than protecting their own capabilities. That harms the military at the end of the day. So again, not sure, John, why you're in favor of a weaker military. And lastly, you say, I'm just relying on studies, using them as Pokemon cards, yada, 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 this thing and the other thing, instead of feeling what's within. I'm sorry. I don't know why you seem to be operating on a very womanly kind of basis here, but in my mind, I like to put facts over feelings.
Hunter,
okay? And right now, for
John's
like
not
you,
the woman in this
who
scenario.
unironically said that women are less rational, I'm not sure why you are now relying on your own
so
fifis
hard.
to
He's
come
trying
to a
so
conclusion
hard.
when that's not how the world works. If we went ahead and went by your logic, we would all be here believing the world is flat. Now, I don't know what you believe. Maybe you do believe that. But for most rational people, we recognize that the world is actually round, even though we've never seen the round Earth. We don't gauge within our own logic and our own little feelings. We look at studies and data. And when you look at a multitude of studies, I'm not just pulling one fucking study out of my ass here. We have a plethora of different data points, all showing that diversity integrated into companies betters the company. Diversity integrated in the military betters the military. The reason our military is the strongest and most successful military in the entire world is largely attributable to diversity.
All right, thank you, voice. Thank you both.
I disagree.
Boys, for coming on.
Andrew,
Hold on.
Give me
Yes,
30
I will give you that 30 seconds in a moment. Thank you guys for coming on. If you guys want to come back on in June, we can get you back on for a more structured debate with more particular questions for you both to respond to. Hunter Avallone's YouTube channel and Instagram and Twitter. You can find him on his own name, I believe, Avallone, and on his Discord, John Doyle, of course, Heck Off Comedy on YouTube. He's also often on Blaze TV, Slightly Offensive, and all those wonderful shows. John Doyle, you were called a racist, so you want to get 30 seconds for that?
Do I get 30 seconds to respond from there?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm actually the least racist person, but in our follow-up debate, in the meantime, I would be curious, and I'm sure he'd be more than happy
John
to
Doyle
send
is
me all
not
the
the least
information
racist,
which
no.
he was citing, and I can assure you that in the first part of our debate, if I'm allowed to speak uninterrupted, I will refute one by one every single study he cites because it's wrong. And I don't know the studies because I don't really keep up with that kind of stuff, but I know they're wrong. And you can laugh, don't believe me, but just at least remember that I said it because that's what will happen. I'll prove to you that they're all incorrect. In terms of the Putnam study rebuttal, he pronounced the name wrong of the author, but claimed to know like the ins and outs of it. It wasn't actually racist white people because they didn't trust each other either. If you read the study, you would know that trust as a general, as an aggregate, went down. So if that what you're saying was the case, measuring trust is just like that, it'd be like, oh, white people mad at black people, but white people didn't trust each other anyways. Also, in terms of diversity, I don't want to kick anybody out. They're lowering the bar to allow these people into the military. That's my problem.
Hunter, 30 seconds, really tight.
So
Tighten
first
it
and
up.
foremost, again, we're seeing John relying heavily on his fifis. I don't know if maybe he's still a snowflake in need of a safe space here, but again,
You gotta leave
I don't.
2016.
No, I'm staying in 2016 because they seem to be bothering you, and I think that's very funny. So again, I rely on the data. John relies on his feelings, as demonstrated by him saying he's never read the studies, but I'm sure they're all just wrong. LOL. Second of all, I don't care if I pronounced the author's name incorrectly. The reason the trust was lower was because there was a higher rate of racism. Racists are scared of black people, and if they act racist, that lowers the trust that black people have in the general community as well. This is why we have seen that accepting all identities benefits cohesion when it's implemented properly.
Okay, back to me. Thank you both. Hunter, you going to come back for a debate with John Doyle?
Yeah, maybe. But
I
never got an opening statement either, so you know, it's a little sad.
You'll get a big opening statement next time. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you both for coming on. I appreciate you both. It's hard to get people to come together and talk like this. Thank you, guys.
Hell yeah. See ya.
Wow.
Wait,
Well,
he's gonna do like a wrap up or something.
Copers in my in my chat. All right, John Doyle Simps. I see you all. Okay. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click the bell. So
all right. I mean, listen, like John Doyle was the clear winner of that debate. It was both bullshit. They were both wrong on certain things, but John Doyle was the clear winner of that debate. I'm sorry. He absolutely dominated Hunter. Hunter was running like a scared little girl. Like John Doyle won every part of that debate, and I'm not even mad at it because again, he brought that dominating energy. I do believe that like he probably could have refuted every single one of those studies if he wanted to. I actually think that John Doyle, for as many things as I disagree with him on, he's very, very smart. He's significantly smarter than Hunter. And so he clearly won. You know, that's what it is.
I don't know if I agree with you. I mean, I don't know that either of them really won, I guess. I'm kind of like non-binary in my interpretation of that.
Has anyone figured out if Hunter is actually non-binary? Is that real? No.
Yeah,
I can
love
totally see that being something he would say, though, just to get like points. I
Not
could
to be
absolutely see that would be something he would
Not
say.
be so- It was great if I was 16. That pretty much sums it up. But
God.
I don't know. I think for me, like, I care less about who's more dominant and who's not. Like, I care more about like the substance of what they're saying. And to me, John is just a bunch of hot air. Like, and I think Hunter was just very, I don't know. It's so bizarre. It's kind of like, it was like a weird world where John Doyle was more of the leftist and Hunter was more of the conservative, where it's like he played by his rules, which you always talk about that, where the right will always do that. He did. And it's like he got him to buy into all this bullshit and even entertain it. Like if John Doyle said a lot of that stuff to me, I would just say, it doesn't even matter. Like, it just shouldn't be talked about. If you want group cohesion, don't talk about how different everybody is. It's just that simple. Like, and I'm confused on Hunter's position because I was under the impression that he is super lib now and he's in love with, you know, diversity and inclusion and equity and all this crap, right? And this is the stuff that they push. And if he's arguing against it, then I would agree. Like, you shouldn't be constantly telling everybody how different they are from each other. You know what I'm saying? Like within that group, that's going to cause a lack of cohesion. You just should not talk about it, or it should be downplayed because it doesn't matter and it's not relevant. And so the other thing I have to say is both of them constantly missed the actual context of combat. It's a very, very different environment. And I don't know if they can understand that. It's like a complete lack of perspective of being able to understand being in a combat situation where things are dangerous, things are happening quickly. You have to have very fast reaction times. I mean, Hunter would just die instantly if he was in that situation because his reaction times are so bad, even with Doyle. And the thing is, Doyle, in my opinion, Doyle is just kind of, this is so mean, but whatever. I'm just going to be honest. To me, Doyle is like a little bitch. He just needs somebody to shout him down and he would shut up. But he's like acting like a toddler and throwing a tantrum and not really saying anything. So you say he's dominant. I say he's throwing a tantrum.
I don't think he was throwing a tantrum. I think he was dominating the conversation. I think that Hunter was letting him dominate the conversation. And I just like, I didn't perceive that as a tantrum. I perceived that as someone being like Hunter wasn't even making sense. Hunter wasn't even speaking to the points of the debate. He wasn't even making any points of his own. He was just whining and complaining. And in that situation, like, I think that with the personality type that John Doyle is, like, he almost can't help but jump in and take charge. And that shows that John Doyle does absolutely have a dominant personality. Now, I think if John Doyle ever manned up and found his balls and debated me, he would be completely dominated by me because I have a much more dominant personality than he does. But like in that situation, he rolled over Hunter, and it wasn't even hard for him to do it. I almost felt bad for Hunter because it was such a mismatch in terms of like the approach that they were bringing to it. It was almost like sad to watch.
I don't know if Hunter is as perceptive as he thinks he is. Like,
no,
I'm very perceptive usually, and somebody like John, again, you either can let him just spin himself out, or you can, to me, he's like a toddler. So I see it differently. But toddler or not, Hunter did not take control of the situation either. So it's like, I see it as like a bratty child and a parent that does nothing. It's like the child still is in control of the situation. And that's how I felt about that dynamic, because Doyle, he just goes on and on and on about nothing. That's his style. And he tries to inundate you with things and tries to shut you down just by speaking over you and just constantly shoving things in your face. And the thing is, like, it doesn't take much. It's like, Hunter, just say, what are you saying? What is your point? What are you arguing here? And John would have nothing, because there's nothing there. And that would make him look like a loser. But instead, Hunter entertains the bullshit, tries to, oh gosh, I don't know. See, this is where being mean comes in handy, because he went into it blindly and delusionally from some type of good faith thing. Like, he's assuming John Doyle is coming into it in good faith. He's not. I would never assume that. So I would have
I don't think Hunter was assuming that at all. I think that Hunter himself only plays in bad faith, which you need to know when you go on his stream. He is not acting in good faith. And he's not going to assume you are acting in good faith either, because he's going to project all of his bullshit onto you. And so no, I don't think that Hunter thought that John Doyle was acting in good faith. And I don't think either of them were acting in good faith. And that's not what this debate bro culture on the internet is about. It is never about acting in good faith.
Right. Which, again, it is what it is, right? It's a bunch of bullshit, but that's what it was. And even debating wise, my criticism for Hunter is he gave credence to the bullshit John was saying, and you don't have to. It's like what Carlin says, you don't have to play by the left's rules, you know, and he played by John's rules, and he shouldn't have, because John was not making sense.
Yeah, I mean, I think you make a really good point in that, like, Hunter easily could have taken more control of that situation to really dictate, like, here's what we're going to talk about, here's the point we want to make, but he didn't do it. And it's like, that's why John was able to steamroll him. And even though I don't think John made much sense either, but he was, I think, closer to the truth than Hunter. And again, I don't agree with everything John Doyle said by a long shot, but I think that he, at least to me, stayed more on track with what I perceive the debate to be. And Hunter was just like, Hunter was bringing in data that had nothing to do with what the question actually was. It had to do with something, but it didn't have to do with what the question actually was. And so again, like, so people in the chat are saying, is debating just about steamrolling? No, debating's not about steamrolling, but the fact is that John Doyle was staying closer to the topic than Hunter was.
And it would have been so easy to stay closer to the topic than John, because John is so likely to just go into left field and random hoo-ha land so easily. And it was just a complete failure. I think I changed my mind. I think that Doyle did win. And it wasn't because he was good. It was just because Hunter was abysmally bad in that debate, like very terrible. And it wouldn't have even been hard.
I'm going to be honest, I kind of want to go back and watch Hunter's appearance on Tim Pool, because I never watched it. I just heard that it was really, really bad, but I never actually watched it.
I never did either, but
no,
I haven't watched Hunter in forever because I didn't like his right-wing videos. So
no, I think John Doyle was a clear winner of that debate. I'm not even upset about it. John Doyle is the king.
I am upset about it.
I'm not. Nope.
I mean, I don't like.
I am a Doyley. I might become a John Doyle fan after this. Listen, okay, but for this, like, I have to give John Doyle credit though, because like, at least he thinks about things, and he might come to the wrong conclusions, and perhaps once he ascends past 23 years old, he will realize that he has come to the wrong conclusions. But like, even thinking back to like that Gaston, like the Neo-Gastonian, whatever the hell, like it's wrong. It's wrong. It's not good, but it is so creative to be watching Beauty and the Beast, allegedly with a girl, and come up with a whole political philosophy just based on a cartoon. Like, I have to give him points. He's at least creative. He's creative. He's thinking things through. He's applying them in unique ways. I might not agree with him, but I have to give him points for being much more original than Hunter.
So here's what's happening right now, you guys. Carlin is trying to recruit John into the Mises caucus. That's what's
I am
happening
not.
right now.
I assure you, that is not what is happening.
That's what just happened here.
That is not what's happening at all.
It's what's happening right now.
No, it's not. No.
But we'll see.
John, do you want to come to
Maybe-
Pork Fest next year? Come to
maybe-
Pork Fest, John.
Maybe John will come back home to libertarianism. Somebody said in the chat that that's where he was originally. So maybe you can call him home. And you know what? It would be better than what he's doing now. So I'm just going to let you do what you do.
It would be better than what he's doing now. We'll get
Yeah.
John Doyle to Pork Fest. We will give him some drugs. We will get him a woman, and he will be a libertarian before the end of the week. That'd be great.
You're probably not wrong. To be honest.
My God, my God. Well, Alex, any closing thoughts?
Just thoughts and prayers for our brain cells for watching that.
Thoughts and
And
prayers for us.
remember all the shilly points. My channel's there.
Yeah.
Come follow if you've found me bemusing. I do go live on my channel sometimes, but it's very random, but it's fun. So
Make sure you subscribe to Alex's channel. Don't watch any of his videos about libertarians because they're all wrong. Because they're all wrong. And he's just what's happening on Alex's channel is he is coping with the fact that he knows it is inevitable that he's going to become a
I
libertarian.
am not going to. Everybody always thinks I'm going to be something else. I've been the same conservative bitch my whole life. I am going to stay this way. It's been a minute. The liberals have tried. Now the libertarians are trying again after they already tried 10 years ago. You could try, but they're just like, what it is with me is they're like, but I like you though. You can't be conservative. Oh, but I am. It's okay to like me.
It's okay. He's not.
I
He
am.
just hasn't realized it yet. He's not. He's
Oh
not-
my God. That's what they all say. I'm
But
still around.
subscribe to Alex's channel. Follow him. Follow him on Twitter. He's at Graphically Alex on Twitter. And we should all support Alex when he goes on. Alex, you're gonna let us know when you're going on Hunter's channel.
I will have to.
You have to.
But
You can't back out now.
I just don't know what we're going to talk about.
Alex, you have to represent all of us.
All of us. What is us? What?
Everyone, you represent the entire chat.
Oh my God. Look, there's a lot of libertarians in this chat. I do sound like a leftist, but I'm not. And people, they get mad that I'm not. So
It's going to be great. We're all going to be there to support you. We will send you thoughts and prayers. And you will be stunning and brave. Don't be
All
irrational and repugnant, Alex. Just don't be irrational and repugnant. That's all
I
that's
don't even know
required.
what that means.
That's okay. You'll learn. It'll be fine. All right, guys. I guess that's all we have for tonight. Please make sure you mount that like button on the way out the door. Please make sure you subscribe to my channel if you have not already. I hope you all have a wonderful 4th of July and have fun with your family and your friends and eat a hamburger or a hot dog or go to a parade or something fun. Get off the fucking internet. Go do something that is in the real world. Get off the computer. That is the best advice I can give you. Just do that. Alex, anything more you want to plug before we conclude?
That's it. I mean, like I said, just if you do follow me, make sure to put on notifications because I do streams randomly and you don't want to miss it. So other than that,
Definitely.
that's it.
All right, guys, that's all we have for tonight. 2.5 hours reacting to that.
We did it. I knew we
did
would.
it.
I
We
had
would.
faith in us.
We would.
did.
Hunter caused a lot of it because he came and started arguing, but we made it. We made it. All right, guys, that's all we have for tonight. Take care, and we'll see you soon.